They're still in the fight for September, but they have been on the win-loss roller coaster over the last 9 weeks. The Crows, they're anchored in the bottom 4, and they'll be looking to reproduce their gritty sort of effort against the Pies at home a couple of weeks ago. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy got a big team in for this Saturday night clash here at the Oval tonight. We welcome former captain of the Port Adelaide club, and he played over 200 games for the Power, Dom Cassisi. Dom, welcome. This game tonight, what are you looking for from the Adelaide Footy Club?
I guess you're just looking for some more, some direction with their ball movement and things like that. Like last week was a little bit all over the shop. They just didn't get their ball in the hand. So you're looking for them to start in the middle with the contest and then try and just get their ball movement going from there, because last week I think they only had 35 marks for the game. They just had no presence with the footy. So hopefully tonight, back at home, they can take the game on and give their supporters something to look forward to. Sitting
right next door to you, the four-time premiership star. He played at Port Adelaide, of course, and he played at the Hawks. We speak of the one, the only Sean Burgoyne. Silk, Carlton, this win-loss cycle they've been on. How do you go about breaking that when you're playing against a team like Adelaide?
Well, I think going on the road and galvanising the group, a road trip, go away, hang out with your teammates, can bring the group together. And, they're fighting for a potential top 4 spot. They win tonight, they can go equal 4th on the ladder. So, obviously, Brisbane Lions, I think, still have to play. But there's a lot on the line for them. But they're just getting some continuity in the group. And I think a away trip with the boys will really galvanise them.
Brett Biglands joins me in commentary tonight. 10 years, of course, at the Adelaide Footy Club. Biggles, Josh Worrell, he's back in for the Crows tonight for his second game in his career.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty well at the SANFL level. His first game was a win, Yatesy, so he's running 100% against the Saints last year, but he'll give some rebound and run and drive. He's a very lanky type of left footer when he plays, so they're trying all things, of course. Thilthorpe didn't get up. He rolled that ankle on Wednesday night at training. Couldn't consider him, so Elliot Himmelberg comes in to replace that. And Shawnee, we were talking off air just how they were going to run with the 3 tools up against Carlton. Maybe Himmelberg back.
Yeah, maybe, because it's going to be a tough one for them. You got Big Harry up there, Kerner and De Koning up there, so they've got to find some ways. But it looks like the weather might get the best of us, and it might rain apparently on the weather report. But yeah, it's going to be a really big challenge for Adelaide Crows, and they're going to have to pressure the balls inside 50 as well, because the Carlton midfield are running hot, and the Adelaide defenders don't want good delivery inside 50.
This is the Triple M Footy preview for TaylorMade Golf. The all-new Stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. You speak about the ball going inside 50, Silk. Dom, what about the midfield battle? Because that's where it's going to all start. And, gee, the Blues have got some power in that area of the ground, haven't they?
Oh, they have. They've got the big-bodied midfielders. You think of Cripps, Chera, there's Hewitt, there's Kennedy.
Walsh.
They're big-bodied on ballers, and they win the contest, and they're the best team at the comp at handballing out of stoppage. They use their spread. They have Walsh get on the end of it, a few of their Zach Fisher, a few of their quick runners on the outside. So that's the biggest threat to the Crows. The Crows' midfield is not overly big. They're going to have to find a way to fight and scrap and make sure that Carlton don't get it on their terms too easily in there.
Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. So we saw Adelaide, they were blown out of the game last week against Sydney in basically a quarter of footy. They sort of held it together in the remainder of that. The week before, they pushed Collingwood all the way. So if they can string their efforts together over 4 quarters, they can make a shot of this.
Well, they can. I think that's what you're going to get with teams who are rebuilding, and they're trying new things with young players. So they're just got to limit their best from their worst. Well, obviously their worst from their best. So it'd be interesting to see what they go with, and why not continue to try some things, players in different positions, and try to capitalise on some momentum from some young guys, and just showing the fans that we're coming to the end of the year, but we're looking to fight it out. But they don't want to be blown away in 1 quarter of footy.
With the jets that the Carlton Footy Club have in their midfield, there's going to be a lot of ball into their attack. That means the defence from Adelaide is under the pump. They lose Tom Duday, who's out with some niggles, and they just needs to freshen up. But their run out of defence, boys, who is the man who can drive and run? Of course, we know Brodie Smith has the leadership capabilities, and Wayne Miller has always been targeted as that type of player. They've got dour lockdown defenders, the Crows, but who's their ball user, their quarterback style that Silk used to play at Hawthorn?
Well, I think that's where they're probably still trying to find that sort of player. I mean, we've seen Dawson go back there every now and then when the Crows' ball movement from half-back looks stifled and they haven't got any, not finding the marks out of their back 50 to get control back of the game. They throw Dawson there because he's got the great kick, he's got the great awareness, and he can just calm things down there by using his elite kick to find an uncontested mark. They can reset and go from there. So look, he's one, but he can't be playing everywhere. You know, they also throw him forward when they're struggling there. So I'd love to see Miller just play. Mate, you've got 6 weeks playing half-back. We need you to be able to find the footy, use your great kick. We'll be a better team if you're using the ball better off half-back.
Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne looking at this game tonight. And I guess what you're talking about there, Dom, is the Adam Sard type player for Adelaide. So now we go to that end of the ground for the Blues. Silk, do you sit on someone like Sard? Because last week against the Giants, they just let him do what he liked off halfback.
Yeah, well, he's an All-Australian form, Sard. I think he leads AFL for bounces this year. So he just takes them on. But I think he's got the balance right this year because he knows when to defend as well. So he runs off hard, but you see him now coming back, chasing defensively. So I'm not sure if you've got to rank them. Do you go Cripps, do you go Walsh, or do you go Sard off half back? But they'll obviously set their sights on someone, and it just depends who's doing the most damage, I think. But he's responsible for changing the angles, getting speed on the game, and that's his one, his strength.
He does take a bounce within 2 steps as well. So
he takes 6 bounces in 2 steps.
He's in 40 in front on the bounce category list in the AFL. It's just amazing how comfortable he is dropping the footy on the turf.
This is our Triple M footy preview. TaylorMade Golf, the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. The question that has been around about Adelaide all year and continues to be is, have they gone forward? I mean, have they improved on what we saw last year? The ladder position says pretty much not. It's standard, but are you seeing things that aren't reflected in the ladder position as far as game style and getting new players blooded, etc.?
Look, I've struggled to see it, to be honest. You know, you want to see teams progress, but I'm struggling to name 1 or 2 players that they've got early in the draft picks the last 4 or 5 years that have made their stamp in the competition this year. And that the Adelaide Crows can look at and go, he is going to be an elite, he's going to become an A-grader, and he's going to be a 10-year player. I don't know who that player is. I don't think they've found 1 or 2 of those this year, and that's what they needed to find. They've got Dawson in. He's been great, but they need to add around him. So they've, it's just, you know, the challenge ahead of them is to try and develop the players. They're giving them game time, but there's still a lot of work in that space to try and find some elite young players.
You could bank on Rochelle playing 10 years when he gets back into it. Of course, close to being selected tonight. Thilthorpe out with that ankle, as we mentioned. Maybe we've seen a bit from the Fog this year.
You're right, Rochelle, Fogg, and maybe some of the young defenders. I'm probably more specifically talking about the midfield.
Yeah.
You know, where's their midfield coming from? Because that's where the game's won or lost. They don't have the big... You look at the teams, you look at Carlton, they've got some 190 centimetre, 92 kilo beasts in there. And the top 8 teams have 1 or 2 of those guys. The Adelaide Crows don't have any. And they've gone to the draft the last 3 or 4 years, and they've got 180 centimetres mids, 80 kilos, which is fine, but we're still waiting to see what weapons they've got in their game. Do they have pace? Do they have elite kicks? So that's where they might be found wanting, is in the midfield.
And Silky, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I'm right on, Dom. They need to show, they're developing their players. I think you can go through the same. Dom touched on it before, where the one move I've seen constantly from them is Dawson moving back. We'll try someone else going back as a spare and leave Dawson up. Try to expose the young guys to different roles in high-pressure situations where you just want to see whether if they're going to grow in those areas. Because if you just keep doing the same things with the same players, but you're getting games into the young guys, you're probably not developing them, their game understanding, under match pressure in different roles. So I'd like to see the young guys in different positions, especially when the game's on the line, because that's the position the Crows are in. They're trying to see who the future is and get the games into the younger players.
So you look at the Crows midfield tonight, there's Berry, there's Schoenberg, leave Laird out of it, but out of the young guys, Berry, Schoenberg, Chase Jones and Hinge on the other wing they've named. I don't know if any of them are going to be A-grade footballers. I don't know if they're going to be 100-game players yet. So that's what we're talking about, but they get a great challenge tonight against a team that's really good midfield. And this is what the Crows have to do. Give them game time. Get them experience amongst the best. And, hopefully tonight we see them put up a good fight and potentially get over the line at home.
Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne tonight on Triple M Footy. What about for fielders? For all your fencing needs this footy season, our player matchups. Any one matchup in particular you boys are looking at for fielders?
Yeah, I'm looking at Walsh versus Keys. Obviously, Walsh is Carlton's fittest player, running machine, racks up anywhere from 10 to 15 possessions a quarter versus Crows, running machine, and Keys. And you know who's going to win that battle if you just let them both off the chain. Walsh is going to probably be a bit more damaging than Keys. So I'd like to see Keys go to Walsh, start on him and then work off him, not just start off him and work off him. So use him as a reference point, try to negate him, and then challenge him running defensively. So that's going to be a real key battle in the midfield.
Let's head down to Brad Eberto for Bob Jane teammates, the man who has just returned from the south of France at a little summer's break, so to speak, in Europe. Brad, welcome.
Oh, ciao, boys. It's good to be back.
He's off.
You got your baguette and cheese down there, mate?
I do, mate, I do, yeah. Although, geez, it's a real reality check, isn't it? I'm sitting here in the freezing cold rain. 2 weeks ago, I was out on Lake Como. So, anyway, boys, I don't want to rub it in, but here we are, boys. It's exciting to be back. I'm happy to be back at Adelaide Oval and getting drenched. So, thank you once again. But I'll take it. We're just going to run through the boundary, the interchange quickly. So, we've got Soligo, Malira, Himmelberg, Parnell, and the sub is Davis for the Crows. Whilst for Carlton, we've got Motlop, O'Brien, Newman, Fisher with Silvani as the sub. So anyway, guys, it's plenty of activity, plenty of excitement down here. We'll cross back to you. Cheers, guys.
Oh, there he is, Brad Ebert on the boundary tonight for Bob Jane Teamarts. Buy 3, get 1 free and an instant cash back on Bridgestone, Goodyear, Yokohama, Michelin, Dunlop, and many more. BobJane.com.au. He did omit to mention he was centre court Wimbledon, boys, as well, with Royal boxed style tickets.
And whose tickets did he have?
Well, we don't know. We won't dig too deep into that, but I'm sure there's a story behind it. The Listener app, of course, you can stream every game of Triple M Footy live on the Listener app. Download it now. LISTNR. It's Carlton. It's Adelaide. It's the Adelaide Oval. It's Saturday night footy. And here is Rhett Biglands to get things rolling on Triple M.
Well, Carlton can still make the top 4. You wouldn't have thought that at the start of the year. And same with the Pies after their nail-biting victory over Port Adelaide this afternoon. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Let's hope we've got a good clash on our hands. Saturday night action at the Adelaide Oval. Pittenay back into the side for the Blues, just stood under it. The big ruckman went up against O'Brien. Spills out to the outer side. Kennedy was first onto it. Tried to gather, ran with it, was done though. And Rory Laird sets the tone early, holding the ball. Great tackling pressure. They drive into attack now. Keys is pushed forward out of the stoppage. Oh, up high, massive hang. Was it paid? It was. Absolutely pulled it down. Shane McAdam. He was 4 deep in the pack. Launched at it. One bite. Outstanding catch.
He's showing no signs of that corky that struggled him all weeks because he was touch and go to play this week. But looking at that, he looks pretty free, doesn't he?
What a hang to start. He's a confidence player, Shane McAdam. He's a 62% goal kicker from set shots this year as well. Very gettable shot. Slight angle, but he's pushed it right. And it'll just be touched prior to the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in. No score added.
Thanks, Taylor. Mark.
So we'll have it thrown in. City end goal. Adelaide go that way. Opening term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Walker out of the contest. Takes it, snaps it, goals it. Oh, the Texan is Ruckcraft forward. He dominates again and gets in the face of Walsh. Adelaide get the opener. 1 straight 6. Carlton yet to score. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Casisi.
It was a good start by the Crows. They obviously, we spoke the importance of the middle. They were able to put big pressure on there. Carlton actually won the clearance. They tackled, they chased hard, got the hold on the ball, and they're just able to get the ball in their front half. And the experience of Tex up there is always posing a threat. But there's some interesting matchups across the ground. Look at the midfield. Schoenberg's gone to Chera. Got Berry on Cripps, so they're ready to go again.
What a warm-up. Warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. And thanks to McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Fast start to the Crows. Tackling pressure in Norman to that centre bounce again. Pitternet gets involved with the spread this time. Now Kennedy looks to the wing, but the kick was overcooked. And couldn't quite gather. It was Matthew Cottrell. We'll get a boundary throw in half forward flank for the Blues.
Another matchup is Brodie Smith on Walsh. So Walsh is starting at half forward coming up, and Brodie Smith dropping him off and leaving Walsh by himself to run around, which is very dangerous.
Key match up there for Fielders. We'll have it thrown in. Adelaide by 6 points. Gee, didn't the Texan. I thought he was giving it to Walsh, which he was secondary, but Pittennet was the one he was giving the gobful to after getting rid of the big fella and kicking the goal. Adelaide through Berry. Work it up towards centre wing. Ground level Murphy went the handball for McHenry and missed him totally. And it's out of play right in front of us. in the Triple M commentary box. Adelaide lead it. One straight. Carlton yet to score. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Carlton have never won at the Adelaide Oval. 0-5. So they're looking to change that narrative tonight as the rain just subsides for a little bit. From the stoppage, Murphy went through for Adelaide, gathered. McHenry, Laird, pumps it into attacking 50. Keys had a look at it, was going back. Numbers are back for Carlton though. Wiedering got the spoil. Fogarty at ground level. Gathered, handball over the top and smashing through, couldn't quite find the target. Chase Jones went past the footy. We'll get a ball up 40 metres out from the Adelaide goal. So it's one straight 6, the Crows. Blues yet to score on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
So a lot of players around this ball. Inside Adelaide's attacking 50. Fogarty doing some big bullocking work, having a snap, and he's missed just away to the right. But Adelaide are switched on early. 1-1-7. Carlton yet to score. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard opening term, 4 minutes in.
Doherty to bring it in. What a story he is this year. Not only on field, but remarkable off field. And if he makes All Australian, it'll be the cherry on the top. The kick in was a long one. Cripps sat under it, gathered, put Cher under enormous pressure. Cher goes back for a second attempt at it. Walsh was terrific at ground level. On all fours to Kennedy, flips it out to Sard. Immediately set upon there. Jumping on top was Keys. Sard somehow releases. Now it comes out the back to Durden, who was sitting out. Forward handball. Just chopped off though. Dawson read it best. Murphy fell over. Tried to catch it on his back. And again another turnover. Durden assesses his options. Comes back inside. Shocking kick. Hinge read it best. And hit him right on the chest. 7 plays 0. Early days here at the Adelaide Oval in favour of the Adelaide Crows.
So Hinge gets on with it. Adelaide get their third inside 50 of the quarter for Red Z Lending. Carlton are yet to go there. Bouncing footy. Nice little gather. Gave the handball mid-air. Hinge. Here's Walsh for Carlton. Dishes across. They're working it here. Out of side centre field. He got it from Owies. Gave it back. Owies delivers and finds Curnow. Just slipped through his hands. Now Adelaide's defence. Here's Worrell. Upended as he got a kick away. It's fisted toward the line and out of play. And we'll have it thrown in. Centre wing out. Adelaide lead at 1-1-7. Carlton yet to score.
No booze just yet for Mitch McGovern, the former Adelaide Crow who went at the footy, took 7 marks and 5 intercepts last week for the Blues in their 36-point victory over the Giants. They trail by 7 here today. The Ruckman Lockhorns. Kennedy went flying through. Somehow got a handball out of that pack, and then Berry grabbed it. On to Smith. Smith to half forward. McAdam had another look. Tech stayed down. McAdam's recovery, brilliant. Turned one way, then the other. Got a kick around the corner. Won't have enough purchase on it. It's going to drop just in front. Oh, no, dropped the dolly. Oh, that was young for Carlton. Spent it before he had it. Bounced off his chest, and we'll get a boundary throw in the pocket, City end.
McHenry there had a Crows player out. Sorry, that was McAdam, had McHenry out and just didn't kick the ball. Rolled left and went right. They had a free player inside 50.
Sean Burgoyne there tonight with Dom Cassisi for Seabus Super. Seabus making hard work pay off. Some nice little craft there again from Walker. He got it down to Keys, but he couldn't really get it going forward. Carlton, they get a clearing ball, and it's out of play. Fisted out. We'll have it thrown in.
Just a bit sloppy at the moment, guys. I reckon the rain's having a bit of an effect on the ball.
So the Blue Bag is rocking the all-white kit tonight. White shorts, white top. Wimbledon style, straight from Brad Eberts. Lock of that one. Had to borrow a tie to get in. Come back to that, though. Walsh from the clearance was terrific. Went cruising through. Put it the half forward. Curnow had a look at it. Dropped at his feet. Now he goes back. Paddles it forward. Oh, they're in his back. Not paid by the umpire. Durden tries to provide the pressure. Now Chase Jones around the corner. Kennedy gathers. McGovern. And dumps it back to half forward. Oh, over the top. That was a nice swirl coming through from Murray. Full-fisted. In dispute now along interchange gates. Brodie Smith wobbles one forward. Now the Fog couldn't gather, but have a nice little crack around the chops to Louis Young, the South Australian in the lineup, the former Mitch and Hawk. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Adelaide lead by 7.
So we'll have it thrown in. Adelaide have certainly had it in their part of the ground a lot in this opening term. Carlton yet to score. Little handball out of the stoppage. Adelaide work it to Berry. He puts a long left foot ball, deep 50. Adelaide through Fogarty. Ground level work, McGovern. He's wrapped up and he's taken to the line. will have it thrown in 25 around from the Crows' goal city end.
Taylor.
Great start by the Crows, 18-8. Contested possessions. Triple M Red Z lending stats. They love to win the hard ball. Boundary throwing. Forward pocket for the Crows. Tex tries to body out again against Pitnet. Whacks it to the front. Chase Jones gathers, hooks around a corner, partially smothered. Kennedy with a double fister for the Blues. Goes back and gathers. And then they're out of trouble. Walsh again getting a stack of the footy early. Gets to the outer side and finds Will Setterfield.
It's up to 6 disposals. Walsh leading all comers.
Red Z lending, loans for the self-employed. Sean Burgoyne delivering some stats for us there. He's along with Dom Cassisi tonight, fisted out of play. And we will have it thrown in. How are you seeing this midfield battle at the moment, boys?
Well, Adelaide has started well in the midfield, 8 clearances to Carlton's 3, and they just look like a good shape at the moment. I mean, Carlton's biggest risk tonight in the midfield was thinking they were going to get an easy night.
So 8-3 in favour of Adelaide in the clearances, throw in. Ground level, working hard. Berry put a tackle on, and umpire will run in. I think it might be Kennedy at the base of all that. Slowly gets up to his feet. Yes, it is. We'll have a ball up. Let's head to Brad Ebert, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, it just looks like Carlton just haven't been able to adjust to this wet weather game at this point. They're still trying to play that attacking, fast-moving sort of style, but Crows have just been bringing the pressure. I'll let you get back to the call, boys.
Great stuff, Ebo. As the rain clears for Bob Jane T-Marts. They certainly look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 132625 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. So the intercepting mark from Doherty switches out to Cripps. Now Walsh. The big guns combine into attacking 50. Butts left his man. Probably could have grabbed it. Got the double fister over in front of the old scoreboard. Get a boundary throw in.
And just like that, Walsh is up to 7 now. So they're not even going near him when the ball's in play. So he's going to hurt you at some stage. He's up to 7. Chance Jones is up to 5 for the Crows. But it's a risky tactic letting him run around by himself in play.
Sean Burgoyne there for Seabus. Dom Cassisi right next door to him tonight. Nearly a high tackle from Kennedy. No, umpire runs him. We'll have a ball up. So Carlton at the top of their 50. They're going to the Cathedral end. Umpire throws the ball up. Kennedy out of the contest. Got it to the boot quickly, but it's miscued. Out of bounds on the full. And the Crows get the footy underneath the old scoreboard.
Kennedy, the former Giant, some pretty good form. Coming off the back of 27 disposals and 6 tackles. And already up to 6 disposals tonight. 13 and a half left in this first term. So Young went up early and spoiled it down across the outer side wing. Walsh under it for the Blues. And Riley O'Brien at ground level immediately tackled. Carlton yet to score. Adelaide 117. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel. So O'Brien got the clearance after doing the ruck work, and then Doherty was sitting off the back of the pack. Keys missed the tackle on him. Doherty busting through. Look at McGovern go through. Took them all on. Got the handball off. Now the kick inside attacking 50. Mackay set out the back. Great work from Motlop. Mackay doubles back, but it won't get there. And Hinge, who started on the wing, takes the mark. Goal-saving mark on the goal line.
Outside 5.
So deep in defence. Smith for Adelaide. Tucked in that right back pocket. Cathedral end. Unloads the long raking right foot ball. Gee, Adelaide stand tall. They all kept their feet. Nice mark, Walker. McGovern fell over. Here's Fogarty on the lead up. Keys. There he goes. Biggles running the 14k an hour on the 12k an hour treadmill. He was pedalling back there hard. Squaring ball from Fogarty.
You notice his hair doesn't move either.
Gets it to Walker.
Very peaky blinders like.
Slick.
Goes sideways. And here's Smith again. He's getting a few metres gained tonight already, Smith, but too strong Wiedering. Had himself well positioned and able to outbody his opponent.
Wiedering's going to have a big job tonight. And he's up to the task all the time. Since 13th in the competition for 1% as bites off a dangerous kick, but DeConing was good enough. Look at Doherty just cruise on by. Grabs one. Now tries to get over the back. Mackay flies. Does a great job to bring it to ground. Butts couldn't infringe now. It spills out the back to Curnow. Has a shot on goal, but it just drops short. And sitting right in the spot is Matty Owies. 15 out from goal. Hit him right on the chest, but I reckon it was a shot on goal.
How smart was that from Big Harry? He knew if he grabbed that ball, he was going to be tackled. Saw Charlie on the right of him with the fluorescent orange boots on, so he just taps it out in front. And Charlie with a worm burner.
So he's back into the Blues lineup tonight, back from that calf injury that he had. Lining up for the Blues first. He shouldn't make a mistake, no doubt about that. Directly in front, and the Blues army behind the goals love it. First of the night to Carlton, and they trail by a point. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
You see Carlton being brave with their ball movement there. It all started from, I'm not sure who got the kick out of their back line. Kicked an absolute dart into the corridor,
Doherty.
and then they got Doherty it was, and then they just got their run and carry on the back of it. And one thing we know tonight with Carlton's tall forward line, and they've got mismatches everywhere, if they're going to get the ball inside 50 quick like that, they're going to pose some difficulties for Adelaide Crows defence one-on-one.
Dom Cassisi there for Seabus, along with Silk Burgoyne tonight. Adelaide, they lead it by a point. Carlton get a much-needed goal. Adelaide have had it in their forward half a lot, but the Blues respond for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Now, DeConing got up high, but Cripps is going to get a free kick. Umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy. Here he is right in the middle of the Adelaide Oval. Cripps is going to send a long, high ball forward. There's a lot of players around the spill. Ground level, he's working again. Schonberg tapped it in front of himself. Newman got a squeezy ball in there for Carlton. It spills out. Nice little gather. Opportunity. Modlop handballs over. Curnow goal. Back-to-back Blues goals are in front. 2 straight 12 Carlton. 1-1-7 Adelaide. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Sean Burgoyne, Dom Cassisi on Triple M footy.
Another really good team goal there from Carlton. Multiple times there, a Carlton player could have had a shot, a snap under risk. Just get it on to the next player, and young Motlop got the ball there. Could have had a little checkie from the top of the goal square, but gives it to Charlie. And I think the Carlton forward line really get a buzz out of giving a teammate a goal. You can see the enthusiasm when a player gives it to someone else. They all get around them. So they're very unselfish at the moment.
Very good to have the insights of Sean Burgoyne, Triple M footy. Sitting right alongside him, Don Cassisi, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. So the Blues in front for the first time tonight. 5 points is the lead at the Adelaide Oval. 11 minutes left in this first term. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Cripps went smashing through, involved in the last goal. Little toe poke to Walsh. Walsh sends it back into attack. Curnow's going to go steaming through. Oh, delicate little flick back. How good was that? In the path of Cottrell has a flying shot on goal, but can't quite get enough purchase and bend on it. Out of bounds, right alongside the point post. No score added. So Carlton led by 5 points. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
So Worrell brings the footy back in. Works it. A free kick, is it, to Walker? No, it's going the other way. Oh, Walker spewing. So Wiedering with the footy. He's going to send Carlton back inside 50. They're looking really potent. Gee, it's just a short squeezing ball to Walsh. So Walsh getting himself another Red Z lending stat, putting them inside 50. Was fisted away, led front and centre for Adelaide. Got it away to Hinge, and he clears the area.
So the pack forms, and Fisher just shoved them all under it. Tries to turn back on the foot. He wasn't quick enough, though. Sard is. Nice little gather and 1-2 back from Newman. They work back through Doherty. Getting busy early, as is Sard, who gets another one. Hear the wolf from the crowd. So there's a good contingent of Carlton supporters in. So now they switch through. Louis Young tries to come to this member's side. It pitches. Cottrell gathers. Oh, did a great shake and bake on Chase Jones. Turned him right inside out. Nice move. Into half forward, though. The ball pitches short. Here's Worrell. Game number 2 to Brodie Smith. He loads the cannon, sends it to attack. Keys it a one-on-one again. Seems to be doing that in the forward line. Not sure what's going on with that. But the gather from Fogarty. Immediately set upon. Young's got him. Did he take them on? Certainly did. Holding the ball to the Blues in the back pocket. And they're starting to respond now to the tackling pressure. They lead by 5 points.
Contested possession count, one stage was 22 to the Crows and only 8 to Carlton, but now it's the other way around. Carlton 22, Crows 24. The last 5 minutes I got back on top in that part of the game.
So Young works it up towards centre wing. Himmelberg, little tap. Smith, little blind turn was nice. Got it to Jones. Not a great kick. So Mackay got it across. G under some real heat. Centre field got it to Doherty. Nice little run here. Motlop gets it toward the other side of the ground. And he finds O'Brien. He's on the back edge of the centre square. Nice measured ball to Doherty, who made good space. Look at Curnow out the back. Oh, very nicely done, Worrell. came through with the late close in his second game, and he fisted it out of play.
We just saw the last two transition plays from Carlton. They've got on the half-back flank. They could turn boundary and go long down the line, but they've turned inside a bit riskier, but then they've got it at the outside and entries inside 50, so a clear mindset to come back through the middle.
Himmelberg and De Koning from the boundary throw, and Himmelberg brings it to the front lead, weaves his way in and out of traffic, and then hooks one high around the corner to the outer side. McHenry was good. Great hands from Tex. Now into attack. Riley O'Brien's trying to shunt his way forward. He was tackled, and Saab just way too clean. Clean and gather. Oh, O'Brien, that wasn't clean. Off the side of the boot, came back into the centre of the ground. Smashing through was Kennedy and was held without it. Free kick was definitely there. He gets on with it quickly. Kennedy in the pocket. Where's the tall timber? Mackay had a set, couldn't quite gather. Spills over the back, and Curnow will just usher it over the line. No, he won't. He'll keep it in play. And then Worrell did the same, but tried to hook it around the corner and kick it out of bounds on the full. So Carlton will reload half-forward flank. They lead by 5 points.
So O'Brien's got the footy at half-forward here for the Blues. He gets around the man on the mark comfortably, sends a long high ball to the square. Oh, gee, that's very late pressure. It's a goal off the deck anyway by Curnow. And it was the pressure on De Koning that drew the initial free kick. The goal is paid, and Carlton have got 3. 3 straight 18. Adelaide a 1-1-7. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Brad Ebert, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, boys, it's been documented that Matty Nix has spent a bit of time down on the boundary over the last couple of weeks. You can just see that he's able to rally his troops, really, and he's able, even just as stoppages and things play out on this side of the ground, just communicate with those key players to just make things happen as needed. So he's been pivotal, I guess, down on the boundary, and it's been really interesting to watch so close.
I don't mind that free kick on the goal line. On the big ruckman, made him earn it. He's going to mark it anyway, and he's going to have a set shot from the goal square. But, you know, if they're going to kick an easy goal, make them earn it.
So Adelaide with the first of the night, and Carlton with the next 3 goals to lead by 11 points, 7.5 left in the first term. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. O'Brien, the infringer. Oh, he took the legs out of Kerry. Not paid. Saligo with a forward handball. And now they've got some run from Laird. You see something he likes in the pocket. I'm not sure what he saw. It might have been a sprinkler, because there was no one there.
I think he shanked that. He's trying to. I thought he could kick 50 on the run. That's what he was thinking. But he had Murphy all by himself, 20 metres clear, little chip over the top, and have a set shot.
Silk Burgoyne there with Dom Cassisi tonight for Seabus. Getting a look at the Harvey Norman replay. 2 coaches, Voss upstairs, and as Ebo told us, Matty Nix down at ground level again, and trying to bust through the contest. O'Brien, Hinge is wrapped up. Got the handball away. Jones around the body. Bouncing, rolling ball. Last line of defence. Fist through there was Young. Umpires saying deliberate. So Adelaide are going to get a free kick. Keys the man with the ball.
Jacob, with me. One more.
Umpires calling Wiedering back. So Keys. He's in the right forward pocket, Sidian. Not much thinking time. He plays on really quickly after he pretty much just picked the ball up and missed away to the left. Minor score. 1-2-8 Adelaide. Carlton 3 straight 18. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
So Adam Sarge is going to bring it back in, and he's certainly a lock for the All-Australian team. Would have to be with his sort of numbers he's putting up. 8th for intercept possessions, coming off the back of 25 disposals again, but a lot of those are bring-ins, but what a year he's having.
They're bringing back the woof too when he kicks the ball.
Yeah, the last few, certainly month or two I've picked that up. Mackay took a great mark from the kick in and gave it to McGovern. McGovern just went down the line, and Worrell's had a couple of nice plays so far. Intercepting mark on big TDK.
Very nice mark for Worrell. He had a good close down earlier before as well, as Biggles touched on Murphy ground level. Little flick pass almost. It ends up with Laird. Get under that. He sends a high ball forward. And big fist came from the Blues. Louis Young spills over to Adelaide. They've got a heap of numbers. McHenry squaring ball, looking for. McAdam was right there. Could have jumped on a few heads. Millerer. Now what's going to happen here? Millerer has socketed through, but I reckon the Blues defenders, Newman, may have touched it or not.
I believe it's behind. Can we check to see if the defender touched it?
Sure. Okay, so Harvey Norman replay.
Umpire's call is touch from behind. Please check if the defender touched the ball.
The umpire's call touched.
Above the knee.
As a Grazed a few hairs on the head. The new Google Pixel 6a available now at Harvey Norman, plus receive a bonus $150 gift card.
It was umpire's call. That's very hard to see if he touched that. It's very, very hard to see, but I don't think you can overturn it on that evidence. I'm not sure if he's touched it or not.
So, socket by Miller.
His finger there. Yep.
Finger, you reckon?
Finger?
Left hand or right?
Left hand, then some hair on it as well. Check that for a little bit of product on the ball, I reckon. Good effort from Nick Newman.
Then on this angle, the head's nowhere near it
Yeah, it is.
for Harvey Norman.
That misses the head by a fair few centimetres. That's misleading, that angle.
And did this hit the hand here as well?
I don't know if it did. I don't reckon it's touched the hand. I reckon it's a goal.
But the Adelaide Crows made that hard work. Lee got the ball and just bombed away. He had two Adelaide Crow players, just a little 20-metre, just a stab kick, and they run into open goal. Instead, you bomb it. So they make hard work of this opportunity.
The umpires can't overturn it in the arc to say it is a goal.
Okay, touched or cleared?
Touched all clear, so there you go. They didn't go back with umpire's call either. They went back with touched, so they must have had clear evidence of that. So 9 points, Carlton's lead.
Stand. Play on.
So a different angle than we had.
Miller was involved in that play, so good to see him across half forward. We talked about him at half back. He's the one who can use the footy. So Worrell again with another disposal. This out of bounds again on the full though.
The difference between the team, Carlton will get that ball, roll inside, and they've got Brodie Smith free. So Carlton are getting the ball in their halfback, rolling inside free players. Crows roll boundary and kick it long. Two different styles and two different mindsets.
Lockie O'Brien, the left footer, will bring it in. Carlton lead by 9 points. 5.5 left in the first term. Goes long down the line. Pittonet couldn't gather and clumsily went at the footy. Let's get down to the boundary and see Ebo.
Yeah, boys, I touched on it earlier, the fact that Carlton looked like they just struggled to adjust to that, the weather conditions. Things have dried up, and like you talked about, their ability to go inside on that corridor kick has just changed the whole thing, and they're able to run and carry and do what they normally do, and Crows just haven't been able to keep up.
There he is, Brad Ebert, fresh back from Lake Como, sunning himself. He's come with a nice tan, footy inside 50 for Carlton. Here's Adelaide. Butts gathers, delivers to Hinge, who slips over, then he just carries the Sharon over the line, and we will have it thrown in at right half forward for Carlton.
The one player who's playing the conditions is Brodie Smith. Had 8 disposals, but he's got 329 metres gained, so I'm not sure what the record is, but he's getting the ball and going long every time pretty much.
It's certainly in his repertoire. He loves to get it long with every kick. I think he's third in the AFL for distance gained with his kicking. From the clearance, the Crows win it. He slipped over. Carlton by 9 points, and then they're going to rebound back into attacking 50. Mackay's got to look at it, couldn't quite gather, got a shove out from Butts, who pushed him right out the way. Here's that man again, Brodie Smith, who goes via that long leg to the outer side, and the free kick is going to go to Fisher. Oh no, it's Plowman who sat under it, the long sleeve white Guernsey.
Just the Crows refuse to lower their eyes to find an uncontested mark. Just kick it long every time. It's so easy for Carlton to set up for.
Plowman sends a long ball. Hinge came in and fisted it to the line. We'll have it thrown in.
I think they're the green shoots we're looking for from the Adelaide Crows. When they get the ball, come in, take a few risks. Don't just be so dour and long down the line and turn boundary every time. Take some risks and bring some excitement, and you grow from that. So we spoke about that before the game, and Ebo's noticing it downstairs, what Carlton are doing on the opposite team.
Sean Burgoyne there with Dom Cassisi tonight for Seabus. Saligo got it working towards McAdam, who takes the mark centre wing. So it's 18-9. Adelaide kicked the first goal of the game, Carlton the last 3, and the Blues lead it by 9 points on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Here he is, Smith lining up again. More Red Z lending metres about to come his way.
Had 20 disposals last week, and that was bang on his average versus the Sydney Swans. They know he's going to go long, so Pittonet set up for it. Just went clumsily smashing through, brings the ball to ground. Another boundary throw in as we close in on this one. 3.5 left in the first term. Brad Ebert for Bob Jane Team Arts.
Yeah, guys, Tex Walker's just spent a lot of time on the bench. They're seeing that the game's obviously getting played on that outer wing, and it's getting played so slow. Tex just seems to be finding himself not being able to get back on.
Great work, Ebo. The 32-year-old Tex needs a bit more time on the bench. The oldest man out in the park. Cripps gathered with one arm and then just flung it over his head. Dawson was good enough to grab it. Kicks it long, but McGovern reads it best. Cruise across the front and takes an easy mark. And now they're going to transition to the members' side.
So 50 against McAdam. He didn't stand on the mark.
Very stiff. I thought that was very stiff, but Carlton will take advantage of it. Another inside 50 for them.
So Wiedering, he's going to put it inside 50. Mackay came steaming out. Gee, Hamill did well to get back into that contest. Now Worrell to Hinge. He's had a busy opening term. Nice little turn. Puts a left foot ball up to centre wing. Oh, gee, big crunching bodywork by McAdam on Doherty. Wiedering taken over the line. And we will have it thrown in right in front of us in the Triple M commentary box.
Just we're probably trying to say the same thing, Sean. They don't even look in the corridor.
No, they don't.
No one leaves there, but the ball carrier just does not even look there. It's long down the line, get territory every time, and Carlton are just cherry-picking.
Triple M Seabus, super special comments, Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne, 5 premierships between them. They know what they're on about. And the corridor is not open at the moment for Adelaide. Continue to trek down the wing there. Lucky they get a free kick from the boundary try. Now Berry. Hard at it, Berry. There's Dawson who calls for it. Probably shouldn't have. Forced back onto his left. So he kicks to centre half forward. Big one-on-one. Keys seems to be doing the forward work again. Brodie Smith had his legs taken out. Not paid. Walsh went through. And now they got someone open in the pocket. It's Murphy who set up a couple of deck chairs and a fold-out table and was there for an eternity.
Well, what he does, Murphy, is he's coming up to the stoppage, bringing his defender up, and he's blitzing through boundary side. His defender watches the ball and he gets free. And this is about the 3rd or 4th time he's been free, but the first time he's been used. So a clear tactic to come up and lose his man in traffic.
Lockie Murphy was a goal kicker last week against the Swannies. Tight in the pocket. This will take his best. So the left footer launches, starts left and comes back and misses to the skinny side.
So that can be a very dangerous tactic for Adelaide if they don't just locked on, we're saying blaze away, lower their eyes, and you've got a free play almost every time.
Sean Burgoyne with Dom Cassisi tonight for Seabus. 8-point lead to Carlton. Sard with the footy. Wants to get on with business. Left foot ball. Gets it working towards half-back for Carlton. Half-forward Adelaide. Smith again taking metres. He's got 413 metres gained. But he'll lose the ball this time on the Red Z lending stats machine. Good tackle on the Harvey Norman replay. 3 Carlton players wrap him up. Chera, Owies, DeConing. He had them all there. Little wrap-around handball to Sard. Nice down-the-line ball. Finds Chera.
Chera's eyes do go inside, and that's where he had McGovern. He thought about it, but he elects to go to the half-forward flank. Big one-on-one, Mackay and Butts. Butts did enough, but the ball still gets over the back. Curnow gathers, snaps, misses. Jeez, he's great at ground level, Curnow. Minor score. Adelaide a 1-4-10. Carlton Blues a 3-1-19. That's a 9-point lead to the Blue Baggers. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
So Dawson to bring the footy back in for Adelaide. Gets it working to this side of the ground. It's working to the line. Ground level, kept in by Murphy. O'Brien, little short ball. Just the required meterage. Gets it to Millerer. Centre wing true. Puts it down the line. In some space, Keys. Takes the mark. Adelaide edging forward. Keys looking for options. He's got Himmelberg and Fogarty deep. Puts it in the Fogarty pocket. He's working there. Big fly, Fog! Oh, sat on the head of McGovern. And didn't he let him know about it too, the Fog? A lovely little wry smile. Let's get a look at this on the Harvey Norman. Fogarty, bang! Right into the back of the head of McGovern.
15 seconds.
He's had a couple of good flies this year. What do you make of that one, boys?
It was brilliant. It was a great kick from Keys. Gave him the chance to jump at it. It was like he didn't mind getting his knee in the old teammates.
Old Fog, and he finishes too. So a real contender and a goal and the siren. So it is 3-1-19 Carlton. It's 2-4-16 Adelaide. The Blues lead this by 3 points at quarter time. For RAA around the grounds, RAA ensure with the locals today. And checking other scores, of course, earlier on, it was Collingwood home by 6 points over Port Adelaide. Last night, of course, the Demons by 36 over the Dockers. And earlier on, it was the Swans by 73 over the Giants. And St Kilda by 12 points over the Hawks. Game underway at the moment. It's the Bulldogs leading the Cats by 19 points. Quarter time, Carlton lead this by 3 over Adelaide. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's.
Adelaide's good times with Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Loz has gone missing, but Greta Thunberg's here.
So record temperatures in England this year, hottest on record, the tellies.
It's so hot, even Prince Andrew is sweating. I'm sweating like a dyslexic on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, no.
Here are some facts for you to ignoramuses. Climate change, real. Port-making finals, not real.
Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast and greatest hits all day.
Yes, how dare you.
How dare you?
104.7 Triple M.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Want the assurance of an Aussie family-sized electric water heater with a 12-year cylinder warranty?
Installery.
Then accept nothing less than Australia's best.
To be the best, you need to train with the best. That's why I went to Peer Trade School for my refrigeration and air conditioning apprenticeship. Peer has well-equipped, real-life simulated workshops. Their layout is fantastic. From the placement of ducted aircon units, the cool room, refrigerators, to the split systems and even their ice machine. The equipment I got to use at Peer was top-notch. So, if you've got a refrigeration and aircon apprentice, send them to Peer Trade School. For more info, visit peer.com.au. Because to be the best, you need to train with the best.
Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia. Watch all the sports action on a big screen. Immerse yourself in the LG 65-inch 4K Smart TV, now only $1,195. Save $400 on the 65-inch LG QNED Smart TV, now $3,495. Or catch every winning moment on the LG 65-inch OLED Evo TV. Save $500, now hot price $3,995 plus bonus local delivery. Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia.
Winning a prize is good, but winning 3 prizes? That's even better. Simply spend $30 or more with an Optus prepaid mobile plan in one transaction and you could win a new MG3 car, a Sea-Doo watercraft, home appliances, gift cards, $10,000 cash and more. Great value starts with yes. Visit Optus in-store or online today. See our website for details. Ends 23rd of October 2022. SA permit number T22/817.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. This month get massive winter deals at Bob Jane T-Marts. If you buy 3 tyres, we'll give you the 4th absolutely free and get up to $100 instant cashback on top brands such as Bridgestone, Yokohama, Continental, Goodyear, Dunlop and J-Trax. We have Australia's largest range of tyres from just $69 and alloy wheels from only $125. Your local Bob Jane store won't be beaten on price. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
The multi-award-winning U-City is waiting for you. A vibrant and unique place to eat, drink and stay. U-City combines accommodation, function spaces, cafes and so much more, including Adelaide's best Italian restaurant, Luigi Delicatessen. Make the most of your night out and discover this incredible vertical village on Franklin Street or visit ucity.com.au. U-City is waiting for you.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Oh, yes, quarter time, Adelaide Oval. Blues lead it by 3 points. 3-1-19 Carlton. Adelaide 2-4-16, courtesy of a goal on the siren after a fog flyer. It was a really good mark for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We've got Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi casting their eye over this game. What do the Reds Ed lending stats say, boys?
Well, it was a pretty scrappy start to the game, wasn't it? And then they worked themselves into it. But at the end of the first quarter, both teams had 97 disposals each, which was pretty even. Inside 50, 17-12 Carlton's way. More importantly, I think Carlton just settled early. I think once they got used to the conditions, they just settled and able to use the play. And then Crows hit back, and they're still in the game. It's 2 goals 2 goals 4 to 3 goals 1, so they're still in the game, which is a positive for them. And Fogg's screamer on the quarter time side really lifted them, and they'll go in with a bit of momentum.
97 disposals each is pretty even, is it?
Yep.
About as even as it gets.
Here he goes.
Sorry, Shorty.
I think you can see the contrast in the way both teams are going at it. Crows are trying to play a scrappy stoppage game, just get territory, kick it long. Whereas Carlton, I tell you what, when they get the ball in their terms, they look very damaging, and they look brave enough to go in the corridor, take some risky kicks. So I guess the challenge for the Crows, their young group, is how long can they sustain their pressure for? Because if they drop off a little bit, you can see Carlton might be able to open them up a bit. And if they're getting the ball to those three big guys up forward, they might pose some risk and be able to score pretty heavily in a short space of time. So all in all, it was a pretty good start by the Crows, though.
Well, we can see the intent from the differences in between the two teams. Carlton are looking inside because we can see their heads from here. They're turning their heads inside, trying to lower their eyes, and they're trying to use the corridor, whereas Adelaide aren't even turning and they're just bombing it. And if they don't mark it, then it goes out of bounds. What's there for Adelaide is that last goal they kicked was lead up mark, put it on someone's head, take a screamer. So bit of a positive for them, but Carlton are using the ball far better.
Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi there on Triple M footy. Here is Red Biglands to get the second term underway. Carlton by 3 points.
Well, first term is not their go, that's for sure. Adelaide Crows have only won 4 first terms this year. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Pitternet just crosses the line immediately, then runs into O'Brien. The palm down to Walsh was superb. He went through. These are the clearance kings from the Carlton Blues. Great work to Cripps. To half forward, to Koning, went steaming out, went past him. And now Hamill was electric to get back on it. It's got some pace. Nearly gathered, and Motlop wraps him up.
So that centre bounce, Biggles. Pitnet ran across about 3 metres and stopped O'Brien from jumping. Is that a free or not?
It should be, because he took his eyes off the footy. The umpires are more concerned about what happens in the air than what happens before it.
So Carlton, Walsh trying the impossible, and it turned out to be. It's got a minor score only. So Carlton, they lead it by 4 points, 3-2-20. 2-4-16 Adelaide. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Michael Voss on screen then. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. In his 6th year as an AFL coach. 5 at Brisbane Lions, and 1, of course, at the Carlton Blues. 109 games at the Lions. What a year he's had. So Pitnet took the kick in, marked on the outer side, saw something he likes back in the pocket. Motlop ran under the footy, tried to bring it down. Nice gather and dish out there. It was pretty good work from Worrell. He's had some important moments so far. They get out of trouble. Now the outer side. McAdam forgot the footy, just kept on running, but then went back for it. Nice little hands to Saligo. Murphy, the long sleever, turned inside out. Knew someone was on, and that's Keys. They're out. Twists and turns, comes back inside around the corner. Ill-directed kick, though. Wiedering read it best. A great mark taken by Wiedering. So Carlton lead by 4 points. First minute of the second term.
Gee, a chance went begging there for Adelaide. Tex was in all sorts of space. As Wiedering... Oh, Worrell, nice mark. Geez, attacked the footy with some flair tonight. Takes a nice mark. Just his second career game. He's centre wing outer. Puts a left foot ball in the Tex direction. Wiedering able to get an intercepting arm up. McGovern for Carlton, cleared it, but mark or free kick going the way of Worrell again. So he's basically on the logo, centre wing outer side. Carlton lead it by 4 points. Adelaide with the footy.
Gee, these umpires are good. Knew his name straight off, first and second. I can't even remember my kids' names. Brilliant stuff from Worrell with a free kick. And now Young smashes through, double fister. Had some numbers underneath, immediately set upon.
You got kids?
Yeah, only 2 in this country. A couple of footy trips went astray. Look forward to those. Resurfacing at some stage for Ream Hot Water. Built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. So into the pocket they go. Adelaide Crows, and Wiedering went past it. Doherty was flattened as he kicked and had the runners on the outer side. McGovern went pushing through, tried to paddle in front of himself. Sees it over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in. Always ask your plumber to install a Ream too, Dom.
We'll have it thrown in. I got a feeling Biggers is living on the edge here at the moment. He's just building himself up for something. Not sure what, but stick around. It's sure to be sublime. Here's Adelaide. working forward inside 50. Big Fist led ground level, went without it, then held without it. No free kick. McGovern, he's wrapped up and will have a ball up inside the 50 here for the Crows. So, bit of a lull over the first part of this term. 4-point lead to Carlton. Here's Walker around the ruck contest. Pitnet got it down to Chera. Setterfield. Centre handball in Cripps' direction. He kept it in soccer style. It was really well done. And boundary line there. Berry wrapped up. And then he's taken over. We'll have it thrown in.
Bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Red Z lending stats. Both teams equal this quarter so far. Clearances, contested possession.
Dom Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne casting their eyes over the Triple M Red Z lending stats tonight. And one of those, there's 21 wins apiece between these two clubs. So the victor getting ahead of the ledger tonight. High up and under kick. Right in front of the interchange gates where Brad Ebert sits. Cripps was terrific. Gave it to Chera. Now the run by Motlop. Well, he should be a rising star, but he's not just yet. Coming in there was Curnow providing the pressure. They're into the centre of the ground. Curnow jumps on top. Murray's in trouble. The umpire's going to ball up. Let's get down to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Mart.
Yeah, I just wanted to pump up Worrell there. You talked about him earlier, but he's just so proactive in his movement, and it's good to see for a young player to have such confidence when he's playing on such stars for the Carlton forwards are. So anyway, I just wanted to give him a pump up just for his ability to be on the front foot, be really proactive in his movement, and it's meaning that he's able to get to the ball first and take those intercept marks.
So Millerat has got the ball right in front of Evo. Good stuff. Brad Ebert there for Bob Jane T-Mart. Jim McAdam went about a week too early. So free kick against Bob Jane T-Mart. So look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free. Plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 16 25. Order online today. bobjane.com.au. Chera. He's on the back 50 here for Carlton. They lead it by 4 points, the Blues. Measures it to Cripps. Adelaide are guarding a lot of space up the ground. He's got Curnow and he's got De Koning, the deep, tall targets, but elects to come in board as Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi have been pointing out all night that Carlton willing to take it through the middle. And here they go, Sard to McGovern.
McGovern doesn't have anyone on the mark, so just runs off and looks for De Koning. Got O'Brien dropping back on him. De Koning was strong. Cottrell was at the front of the pack, and Mitch Hinge gathers, and just a nice little 15-metre kick there to Miller. What'd you see, Sean?
Well, there's players free inside if he looks there, but they don't look there, which is the confusing part, because they're going to win the game if they go through the middle and take some risks. Not safe.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. So Young had the free kick for the hold as he flew for the footy across half back for the Blues. And now Sard. Still hemmed in. Oh, nice little balk. Surprised he didn't take a bounce. Sard long down the line. De Koning pushed out of it. Umpires saw that way as well and get the free kick. O'Brien infringes. De Koning does look inside. Has Chera on the slide by Doherty. Oh, his kick, his intended target was Kennedy, who slipped over. And now they reload Adelaide. Keys at half forward and a one-on-one. Laird gathers, was jumped on. Smashing through. McAdam was high. Chera got him high. McAdam's going to get the free kick right on the paint of 50. So, right on his range. He gives to Brodie Smith. Loads the cannon. Launches a goal. Slides to left.
Smith was licking his lips the whole way there, thinking I'm getting a handball receive here. Normally knocks him over.
Margin back to 3. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Been pretty lucky on the Harvey Norman replay with that free kick initially. McAdam. Now, Walsh just totally miscued the Carlton star, and it's out on the full.
On the red Z, Sam Walsh has had the 14 disposal, but kick efficiency is down to 29%, so he's turning it over a bit by foot.
Here's Parnell for Adelaide. Received it from Worrell. Sends a high ball inside the 50. Fogarty went up one arm. Miller at ground level. McHenry, little gather and give, and tackled by McGovern was Miller. Goes out of play. We'll have it thrown in left forward pocket. Cathedral end here for the Crows. Carlton lead it by 3 points.
So what can they orchestrate here? Taylor Walker's been excellent from boundary throw-ins. Bodies De Koning again, but lets the ball drop. Kennedy smashes it to the front. Oh, this is a great gather. He then kicks around the corner. Now one-on-one here from Curnow. Is it going to stay in the field of play? It does. You get a boundary thrown right alongside the interchange gate. So Carlton led by 3 points.
Riley. Tom.
Go to your right. Fish.
Yep.
Saturday night action at the Adelaide Oval. Top 4 on offer for the Blues. Carlton never won at Adelaide Oval. Still can't get over that. They're 2-2 interstate this year. So looking to build with a young side. It spills to the back of the pack. Doherty read it best. To half forward. Smashing through was Butts, who got a fist and then tried to gather at ground level. Good work there from McHenry. Forward handball. Berry was set a task. Schomburg normally used it well, this time not so well. Drops in front of McGovern, who spilt the mark. Now Millerer. McHenry. They push forward. Murphy over the forward handball. Left foot shot on goal. He's clever. He's got some tricks, Murphy. Nails it. Adelaide back in front. They're 3-5-23. Carlton are 3-2-20. That's on the Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
It's the second time tonight that Miller has shown his class. You know, like Murphy got the end of it, but Miller's awareness, he got it. There was traffic coming. Rather than do the rush kick, which a lot of the younger Crows players do, he has the awareness to hold onto it, take the tackle, avoid it, and then opens up another side of the ground, which gives him some space to be more attacking from. So you see that he's a step above a lot of the other younger players, so great to see him out there. But look, the Crows are pressing. You know, they're challenging Carlton. Their ball movement is safer, but defensively they've been so strong tonight.
Dom Cassisi with Schomburg on tonight for Seabus Super. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. We are back in the middle. Adelaide by 3 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Cripps tackled. Another strong tackle put on in the middle of the ground, this time by Soligo. We'll have a ball up, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a ream. A lot of players around this ball. And a quick ball came from Fisher for Carlton. Here's Walsh for the Blues. Back to Fisher, who ran on. Back to Walsh, who's on the centre wing logo outer. He goes with a right foot ball. It's a long one. He hasn't been accurate tonight. Mackay's in a contest. Motlop ground level. Curnow lurking. He's beaten to it by the boundary. And we'll have it thrown in left forward pocket, City end.
Same tactic there. Walsh starting half forward, coming up. Dawson dropping off him. Walsh gets the ball, kicks it over Dawson. At some stage, he's going to get his eye and start hitting those targets. So you'd want to clamp Walsh down.
Getting dangerous at stoppage here. So Cripps actually took the boundary throw-in and almost won it, but the defensive side, Dawson clears, kicks to the outer side. Taylor Walker, strong contested mark. 1-on-1 on the outer side. In some pretty good form tonight so far. Opening goal of the game from a stoppage, then to Chase Jones. He still again top rope walk the boundary. Chase Jones forward handball. Back to Tex. Tex then to Dawson, who loads inside, attacking 50. Murphy at the front, couldn't gather. Himmelberg tried to bust his way through. Berry got a sort of wobbling shot on goal. Hinge went through. McHenry turned inside out. Doherty saves the day though. But his kick is just going to pitch, is going to roll. And in the 50-metre arc, it goes over the boundary line. Deliberate! What else was Doherty supposed to do there?
So you're under pressure, you're rolling, you kick it, you snap it, and kick it hard as you can. Deliberate. Umpire thinks.
So Parnell squares it up for Adelaide. There was a lot of players there, but Owies for Carlton cleared it out. Chance here again for the Crows. Worrell wanted to take on Mackay. Got the handball away. Soligo. Left foot ball inside 50. Walker at the back. O'Brien was there. Hinge at ground level. Here's Kennedy for Carlton. Gave it straight to McHenry. Snap around the body. Goes dead, and he's missed everything. It's out of bounds on the full. So it's a 3-point buffer for the Adelaide Crows. For Bob Jane team, Arch, Brad Ebert.
Yeah, the Crows, it just seems like they're playing a very predictable down-the-line game like we've spoken about, but at least they're bringing the pressure now. So they're kicking it to the crunch ball, but then they're getting those numbers around the ground. They're actually getting there with some real presence and some pressure, which is causing Carlton to really rush the kick.
Great inside to Ebo. The kick all of a sudden around the corner. So there was a marking contest in front of Ebo, and then immediately swung around the corner, and Taylor Walker receives it from Brodie Smith, where all good forwards should be, playing in front, 45 out from goal.
On the Red Zeds, Brodie Smith's up to 15 disposals now and 605 metres gained, so he's going to crack the 1K mark the way he's going very easily before half-time.
And Texas got one going into tonight. He was sitting 9th on the Coleman. The Coleman medal leader is up the other end tonight. This one should be a lay down for Tex. He's a beautiful strike. Gun barrel straight from Taylor. And the Crows have gone back-to-back, 4-5-29. Carlton are 3-2-20. Adelaide now out by 9 points. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, the Crows are just scrapping their way. They're winning the contest. You know, Bossy would be pretty disappointed with his big-bodied mids. They haven't come to play this quarter. Crows are up with contested possessions and clearances, and like Brad said, the Crows are doing that quick kick out of stoppage, but it's working for them. You know, their forwards are in front and creating a contest, and it's allowed them to have the 13 inside 50s this quarter to Carlton's 4.
We'll have it back in the middle. Extraordinary Red Z lending stats here. Adelaide by 9 points. So we are back in the middle. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. You heard Dom Cassisi there with Sean Burgoyne tonight. A lot of players around this ball. Schonberg for Adelaide, got the handle on it nicely. Gave it to Hinge, who told his forwards to run at him. Fogarty did that, working to the line. It's out of play. And we will have it thrown in just inside the 50 here for the Crows.
And the Crows you mentioned Josh Worrell. He's had a big quarter this quarter. He's up to the 6 disposals at 100% and 2 inside 50. So having a big quarter, Josh Worrell and the Red Zeds.
Fogarty was leading out and the ball pitched in front. So from the boundary throw in, Taylor Walker palmed it down. They got the clearing kick though, the Blues. They make it out to the wing. Here's Dawson. The ever-reliable Dawson, arguably the recruit of the year, gets it back in the 1-2. Onto his right. The path. Himmelberg's going to set himself. Oh, Riley O'Brien was courageous, sat under it. Chera was good. Now Setterfield. Out to the wing, and Worrell's got company out there alongside him. Parnell, who had some think music and overthought it. Then Gathers got some speed though. Little Parnell looks back inside, but burned the kick, and Walsh, clever, just sliding back and read it best. What a year he's having. Sam Walsh, averaging 32 disposals a game. Right up there in Brownlow medal night, along with Cripps, who would be one of the favourites. His kick, real dangerous, but still not intercepted and taken out there by Zach Fisher, who started on the interchange gates. Played every game this year, Fisher. Reliable for the Blues, one of only 3 players to do that in the Carlton lineup. Now the slow play, Setterfield. Looks out to the outer wing. They look to possess this one to Doherty.
Outside 5, keep moving Mitch, outside 5.
Now Doherty's going to assess his options, so he looks into the pocket. Big pit net. Has he got a run at it? Tried to. O'Brien went with him. Butts just dumps it back to where it came from. Out there, and Fisher takes the mark, or is it? It's Plowman.
So opportunity for Plowman. Released a handball, overcooked it. Here's Hinge for Adelaide. A bit of bounce from half-back. There was no one to kick it to.
Look at Miller go.
There was a rushed one. Look at the wheels there, Dom. You like those on Miller? He's going to gather. He releases a handball to Tex. Sard came through. Miller again, a third effort. Here's Chera for Carlton. Big body by McHenry. Himmelberg at spills. Schonberg an opportunity. It's going to be a goal. In the square is Keys. And he buries it home for Adelaide. They're out by 15 points. 5-5-35 Adelaide. Carlton 3-2-20. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi.
Well, that's Miller's goal. I don't know if he got the possession in that piece of play, but he was outnumbered. But his pace to be able to create the contest and put some heat on Carlton's defenders really caused a turnover. But I think we've mentioned him 2 or 3 times tonight, Sean. That's what we want to see from him, isn't it? Someone like Miller using his strengths.
Well, that's what we want to see. We want to see growth, and he provided that there. And after his effort, there was another 3 or 4 Crows players who put pressure on to get the ball, to then get the easy goal to Keys in the goal square. But it was pure grunt and work ethic by Miller to start that.
Dom Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne, Brenton Yates and Brad Ebert. That is your team on Triple M footy tonight. And the Adelaide Crows have got a little bit of zip about them. They're up by 15. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The umpire had a stinker. Trying to bounce and got nowhere. A bit of feeling there, and Fisher gave one to Laird. Laird gave it back. Free kick to Fisher. So he gets it back from Pitnet. His kick, left foot around the corner, didn't do his forwards any favours. Trying to get out was Cottrell, but Miller was good enough. Bit of heat now. The taco's gone up and the revs have gone up with it, so hopefully this game has got a bit more on the lines. The top 4 beckons for the Carlton Blues.
So a lot of players around this ball. Fisher squeezes one forward for Carlton. Mackay, he hasn't seen much of it tonight. Curnow, ground level, but he's just besieged. The Crows jump all over him, and they are bringing the heat. No free kick, ball up deep 50 here for the Blues.
What they're doing, the Crows, is getting numbers to the contest,
Yep.
and they're just outnumbering Carlton at every contest, and then they're winning it back off that, and then getting the transition going.
Well, Himmelberg got pushed out. De Koning tried to gather. Oh, he was dumped. He had the footy and came out the back. Motlop was good enough. Check side. He slams it through. Crafty work from Jesse Motlop. He's an up-and-coming star. Much-needed goal for the Blues. Just to peg one back. So 5-5-35 Adelaide. 4-2-26. The Carlton Blues march it back to 9. That's all. We got a great look there at Motlop's work. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. The new Google Pixel 6a available now at Harvey Norman. Plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassis on Triple M footy.
Well, Carlton needed that, didn't they? Crows have been pressing all quarter. They got that in the back of a turnover. And Motlop kicks an easy check side when he could have just went the drop punt. But why kick a drop punt when you kick a check side on top of the goal square? But Carlton definitely needed that one.
Sean Burgoyne there with Dom Casisi tonight. The crowd a little unhappy. They thought Laird might have been held a bit too long in the Chera tackle. No free kick back in the middle. For McDonald's and Ream, hot water. Triple M rocks footy. G. Kennedy, a heavy tackle from Schonberg on him.
Thanks, Matt.
And we'll have another ball up.
Check your meter, guys. 1 metre, Elliot.
Adelaide lead it by 9 points. Motlop getting the Carlton goal.
Player, not 15.
As Adelaide were threatening to put a bit of a space. Here's Smith, who's had a massive night on the Reds' ends. Gets it working to the outer side. Murphy at ground level. Tapped it forward. Sard coming through, gathering. Didn't take possession. Saligo did. Then he was wrapped up. Gee, umpire might ping him here. He's done. So free kick against Saligo. Motlop put the tackle on.
Jesse Motlop again. He grew up in the Northern Territory and then moved to WA when he was 10. We know his father, North Melbourne and Port Adelaide Star, having an influence so far. So they go into attack the Blues. Going back with a flight, couldn't quite gather. Murray spilled over the line. Now in dispute. Hinge was dropped as he kicked, but found on the exit. Saligo tries to bound out of defence. Gives to his lookalike in Parnell. They combine well. Up to Tex, who just pumped it down intelligently. McHenry, the little buzzing bee, grabbed it. Forward handball. Not sure he was looking for. Oh, that is beautiful work from Academy. Turns inside out. Back to Tex from 55. Top of the square. Looking for the fog. He's got 2 to beat. Gets over the back. Miller was held. Not seen by the umpire. He's going to call play on, or is he going to call he sat on it? Oh, Miller is stiff. Did he drag it in?
I'm not sure. I have to check the Harvey Norman replay. But he just got the ball and was tackled instantly. So no prior. Maybe you've got to make more of an effort. You can't just lie with your arms out. But there's an injury here.
Great effort, though, from Nick Newman. He's going to come off hobbling. He was the one who tackled. Man, he's just got a bit of an ankle up. He didn't infringe. Nick Newman sits 13th in the competition for marks. He's averaging 20 disposals, having a ripping year, just hobbling from the field, but I think he may be okay. Could be a stinger, but a great tackling effort anyway.
I guess the umpire was looking for Malera to try punch the ball out. You can't just lie on it and have your arms spread. So he just make an attempt, but he left the umpire with no option.
Let's head to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, there's plenty going on down here, guys. Corey Durden has just been subbed out with Jack Silvani getting ready to come back on here. He's already warm and the Guernsey's on, so he's on.
Okay, so Durden out. Silvani in for Carlton. Adelaide win the footy back through Berry. Hamill took him on, delivered to Laird, sideways handball to Miller, lines him up, swinging ball back. He misses, minor score. Crows lead it by 10, 36-26, Triple M IGA Liga scoreboard. Second term played nearly 23 minutes.
It's not great news for the Blues. With Durden out, he's been alive. Wyatt, the round 9 rising star, back in his home state. From a Golden Grove product who's made his debut here, goal-kicking form. So they've gone in with a tall. Now they've got plenty of tools up there. Silvani on. And here is another tall. Mackay let it go over the back. Brodie Smith turns around quickly, and McHenry bobbles it over the line. So Silvani comes on. This is going to be interesting how this is going to work, because they've got the 2 key forwards up there, Mackay and Curnow. Silvani can play as a key forward.
And De Koning.
But more keys than a locksmith.
A few options now.
So here's another key ruckman in Pitternet to the front. Laird. Now Berry went past it. Was he held? Went back for it. Plowman wrapped him up and Chera dumps it down the line.
Looking for the contest out there. Adelaide once again. They had a few numbers. G. Mackay down behind players well now for Carlton. They got a lot of things going against them at the moment. I think Newman was making his way down to get checked out. Brad Ebert, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, they really are the walking wounded at the moment because Newman was looking very proppy as he went down into the room. So I'll keep an eye on that and let you know what's going on, boys.
Harvey Norman replay. Mackay just got a little whack in the sort of back kidney area from Murray. All in the contest as Chera for Carlton. Ball works to the line. It's out of play. Adelaide by 10 points. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Look, Harry Mackay going back to centre half forward. Got the nasty hit in the ribs. He's still feeling it, rubbing his shoulder as well. So Butts has got him. Adelaide by 10 points. Himmelberg, Pitternet. Pitternet good enough. Great palm down in the path of Cripps, who bounds away and then finds Mackay leading up at the footy. No one prepared to jump in the hole of the reigning common medalist.
Well, he wasn't holding his kidneys or his back or his liver, whatever he hurt then, was he? He was full of energy, but he's only had the 2 disposals on the Red Z, so this is coming up for his first shot on goal.
So the reigning Coleman medalist, who currently sits 11th this year on the Coleman medal tally, coming off the back of 2 goals against the Giants, doesn't need many to hurt. What about that kick from 50? God, he's a beautiful kick. Launches and smashes it home. And Adelaide now 5-6-36. Only lead by 4 points. Blues are 5-2-32. Triple IJ Liquor scoreboard.
It's amazing how when you're sore, you can just walk back, but as soon as the ball comes, I'm not sore, bang, 100%. I think he may have lured his defender Butts into a false sense of security because he didn't think he was going to lead up. And then all of a sudden, bang, he's off the mark. Goes back and kicks one from outside 50. That's his 4th possession for his first goal. So 3rd possession for his first goal on the Red Zeds.
Hey, Dom, on the Harvey Norman replay, we saw Paddy Cripps go up to him as well. He eyeballed him after he kicked that goal. As a skipper, when you go to a key player who's not having a great night, is that just bringing him a bit of confidence? Let's get rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chris will be understanding the fact that it hasn't been easy for him tonight, but he needs him to keep working, persisting, because when they get the game on their terms, he needs to be up and about and be ready.
The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here he is again, Cripps putting a big tackle on. And umpire looking. Berry at the base of that. He's been tough in and under Berry tonight. Harvey Norman replay. Not a lot in that as far as the tackle is concerned. Footy at centre half forward here for Carlton. And Adelaide lead this one by 4 points.
Talk about Paddy Cripps. He's had the 16 disposals, 10 contested on the Red Zeds.
What a beast he is, Cripps. He's been tagged in recent weeks. Still finds a way to get hold of the footy. 7th in the AFL for clearances. Only missed 1 game this year. Although he hasn't been hitting the scoreboard in the second half like he has in the first half of the year, he's still as dangerous as ever. Berry going to him. So from the stoppage, they make their way in front of the Donald Bradman grandstand. Ends up with Hinge, or Sir Donald Bradman, I should say. Hinge goes back. Dawson across halfback. As we close in on half time. Inside 3 minutes, Adelaide by 4 points. Dawson down the line, Fogarty! Couldn't quite. Young had his measure. In the front. Great work, McHenry, but he was trying to take too many on. Kennedy wrapped him up. And there's a hold to Dawson. And Silvani is infringing. The sub who's come on. Came on if you've just joined us. Durden out of the side. So, tall on for a small.
Here's Smith for Adelaide. He's carried 617 metres tonight on the Red Z lending stats. Now, free kick going Carlton's way. So it's going to be Plowman. Recipient of this one across halfback.
Not 15, play on.
Adelaide by 4 points. Here's Sard. They work it from this side to that side and a bit backwards here, the Blues. Doherty with the footy.
Play on.
He's got the cathedral in the background with the old scoreboard in the hill. Goes short to McGovern. Crows by 4 points. Carlton have really struggled in this second term to move it with any speed out of their back half.
Stand.
And Wiedering He's got the footy on the defensive 50.
So drawing up his exit plan from defensive 50, Wiedering. There's plenty of numbers who are pushed over to the outer side, and Berry smashes it down. Hamill tries to go through. Chera blocks his path and then puts it in the path of Walsh, who was terrific, to Cripps, who's starting to get busy. An up and under kick. Not sure what he was doing there.
I think he tried to pull his kick there and didn't work, did it?
Hamill just stood under it. Dawson back to Hamill. Got the drive-by into attacking 50. Himmelberg went under it. Wiedering just did enough. Murphy was clever. And then handled to Keys, who was shoved in the back. Kelly smashes him. Swing tackles him round almost onto Walsh's knee. We get a ball up. So final minute of the first half. Adelaide by 4 points. Ball up is 30 out from their goal. Good crowd on the hill. Putting a few tubes in, no doubt. Look at Chase Jones go through. But he was jumped on, and Cripps jumps one to the outer side. Kicks it out there, and Brodie Smith, who's brought his own footy, sends it back to the 50-metre arc. Decoding went 3 hours early, but he got hands on it, so it's okay. It was a big hang, just got through.
Did he get hands on it?
Just got a fingertip on it, I reckon. We'll have a look at that on the Harvey Norman replay.
So De Koning, got up early. Adelaide by 4 points. Carlton under siege in defence. Plowman got his boot into it. O'Brien, this is the Carlton version of O'Brien. Got a right foot tumbling ball, but it's all Adelaide. Dawson set across there by himself to Parnell. He sizzles one. McHenry crunched by Doherty. Free kick as well here, Adelaide. And look at Schonberg. Trying to get a bit of a headlock going around the neck there of O'Brien. McHenry, Harvey Norman replay. Got the footy through centre wing.
Schonberg and McHenry. Couple of real tip rats who love getting involved and stirring them up. They smash it to half forward. Fogarty went under it. Tried to get it through. McGovern couldn't gather. Walsh, half time. Adelaide are right in it. They lead by 4 points, and they're showing a little bit. The Blues need to find their mojo.
Adelaide 5-6-36. Carlton 5-2-32. We'll be back to hear from Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne. It's half-time here at the Adelaide Oval, and it's Adelaide by 4 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M is your passport to good times and greatest hits.
Who do you think it is? Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
You have 4 voices correct.
Thank you so much. You've got a trip to Fiji for 2. That's amazing. And tickets to see the Chili Peppers in 2023.
Thanks to Fiji Airways, flying you to the Hilton Fiji Resort and Spa. All new voices and your chance to win Monday.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Maccas app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Love playing sport? Want to live an active life free of glasses and contact lenses? Invest in your future and lifestyle thanks to Adelaide Eye and Laser Centre. Our fully accredited theatre specialises in laser vision correction and offers the latest technology, including Smile and LASIK. Plus, we offer flexible finance options through Hum. Don't put it off any longer. Speak to Adelaide Eye and Laser Centre today. The Eye and Laser Specialists. Fees, terms and conditions apply. Payment plan by Hum BNPL Proprietary Limited.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Get the new Google Pixel 6a 128GB for $0 upfront when you sign up to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. Plus, receive a bonus $150 Harvey Norman gift card. Offer ends August 8. Minimum cost $1,650. Not available with other offers. In-store only. Cancellation fees, terms and conditions apply. Visit Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Go, Harvey, go!
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. Our famous July Spend and Save is on now. Yes, our famous July Spend and Save is the best National Tiles event of the year. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. The National Tiles July Spend and Save is not to be missed. But you'll have to be quick. For full details, go to nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
Peter Shearer Menswear is the brand with the brands and will always price match on identical items. But most of all, our staff are helpful, honest and understand all body shapes are unique. petershearer.com.au. Peter Shearer Menswear, always ahead of the game.
Want a new phone that breaks the mould, but not the bank? Get your hands on the new Oppo A16s at Vodafone today. With the power of Google already built in, get this very smartphone for an incredible $2 a month. You stay connected to an eligible plan over 36 months. Only at Vodafone. Connect today. Head in store, online or call 13 22 99. Plan cost additional. Total minimum cost $287. Offer available until withdrawn. Savings off RRP of $252. TNC apply.
It might sound like I've lost control of the kids in aisle 5, but in my mind, I'm letting loose, showing them my wildfire.
Rather be on holiday? Get there with Jetstar's Aussie sale. There's heaps of fares to choose from, like Adelaide to Melbourne Tullamarine from just $52 or Hobart from $80. Book now at jetstar.com. Ends midnight Eastern Standard Time, 30th July unless sold out prior. One way excludes checked baggage, selected travel dates and conditions apply. Jetstar. All day, every day low fares.
Triple M rocks footy. This halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
Saturday night footy, Adelaide Oval, and the Crows lead it by 4 points. 5-6-36 Adelaide. Carlton 5-2-32 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We've got Dom Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne, Rhett Biglands and Brad Ebert bringing you this big game. It's our halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you. Sean Burgoyne, Dom Cassisi, opening half of footy. Tell us about it.
Well, the Crows have been super impressive. You know, pre-game we spoke about the big body midfield of Carlton, who have been dominant over some of the best teams so far this year, but the Crows came, they scrapped, they fought. They're playing a bit of an ugly game, but it's working for them. You know, they're moving the ball quick inside 50. There's nothing flash about it, but their fours are anticipating it. And Carlton, I mean, they just haven't really come to play yet. You know, they haven't come and gotten the front foot. They haven't been aggressive around the stoppage, and so they've got a lot of work to do the second half.
It felt like we almost saw Carlton in that... Oh, sorry for just cutting in here, guys. I'm on the boundary, but here I am up in the top. But it felt like we had about 10, 15-minute glimpse of what Carlton can do. And it was after that first 10 minutes of play, they started moving the ball through the middle. They started chaining with hands. And they were able to rush it and get it over the back quite nicely to the guys in the forward line. Whereas after that, the Crows' pressure, they just seemed like they were coming in waves. And they were actually, like I said on the call, whilst it was predictable and it was probably a bit boring, really, they were actually able to do it time and time again, and the pressure that built was just relentless to the point where Carlton weren't able to do anything different.
Ebo, you got a good look at stoppages down there. Now, Adelaide have been renowned for just hat-kicking out of stoppages, and we know the Carlton Footy Club, when they get rolling, they drive and then they find someone up forward. So are you seeing any better ball use from clearances from Adelaide at ground level?
It felt as if they were a little bit cleaner than what they probably had been in time. They felt like there was a couple of those little handballs that were able to just open it up to a degree. But yeah, they still seem to be rushing a fair few kicks forward. But at the same time, it was predictable to the point where they were the first ones to get to the secondary contest, which is pretty much all you can ask from a midfield, especially if you are doing those quick kicks, is you need to be the first ones and be proactive.
Well, especially in that second quarter, Adelaide were kicking the ball long and they were getting 7, 8 and 9 numbers to the contest, and they're putting on the pressure and not allowing Carlton to then turn it over and chain it out. Carlton are the number one ranked team at chaining the ball out by handball. So the Crows are trying to counter that with their pressure, and it's a bit slippery and it's playing into their hands more than Carlton hands. But when Carlton have the ball, we can still see they're still looking inside and take the risky kick, and you know they're not willing to go down the line unless they're under pressure. Whereas Adelaide are just playing predictable footy for their team.
And Ebo, for Bob Jane teammates, before we let you go, mate, at half time, Durden is out.
Yes.
For Carlton, and Newman, it's a bit of a look at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It almost felt like, I don't know what happened to Durden. He seems like it's a shoulder. I know it's a shoulder, sorry, but I don't know the actual severity of it. But it just felt as if 10 seconds later, Newman went down, and Newman looked like the one that was very, very proppy and ginger. So anyway, hopefully for Newman, he's okay and he can come back on. But yeah, he certainly was going down the rooms looking very proppy.
Good stuff. There he is, Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Marts. This is the halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you. Evo touched on as well, boys, as you did, the chaining out of Carlton from half half back. It was non-existent in that second term. Adelaide's pressure you touch on was the real turnaround factor for that. How does Vossi change that around for Blues fans? What does he look to do to get his team to start moving again?
Well, you just got to fire him up, to be honest. So there is a time and a place to chain and run out and try to get the +1. There's a time to surge the ball and get it to your forwards. You know, Big Harry's only had the 3 possessions. Charlie's kicked 2, but he's had the 4 possessions. So they've been relatively quiet. Well, Charlie's kicked the 2, so that's still a good half for a forward. But you just got to get the balance right when you chain and play the conditions. It's wet and slippery. Ebo said before he's freezing down there and it was raining the first quarter. So play the conditions. Otherwise, you know, if you don't, you'll just play into Adelaide's because they're a pressure team, numbers at the contest team.
Dom, you've been touching on all year, Adelaide are good in patches and they drop away even if it's for a quarter, which we saw in the first quarter last week against Sydney, and who knows if we're going to see it tonight. But the 4-quarter effort is the question mark. Can they continue this level of pressure for the entire 4 quarters?
100%. You know, they've got 2 quarters in the bank so far of good effort. Good contest and being predictable to each other, but the challenge for them and any young team for that matter is the consistency over 4 quarters. And you know, Carlton are, you look at their names across the board, the midfield, the strength there, the tall forwards. If that pressure drops for 10 minutes, Carlton could kick 6 goals. That's what they've got in their armoury. But you know, the Crows, it's up to them now. You know, they've done a lot of things really well, and it's up to them to come out and try and sustain that for the next hour or so.
And for Blue supporters, of course, they'll remember the Giants last week. They were, pretty sluggish in the first term and then flicked a switch and really got it rolling. They came out of the blocks against West Coast and absolutely mauled them in the first term. And then against Geelong, well, really they were in the match. It was just inaccuracy. So they know they're good enough. On the road, they're 2-2. Although they've never won at Adelaide Oval and they've been going win-loss for 5, surely Vossi's motto today, anytime, anywhere, if they're to be a genuine finals contender, has got to be the response in the second half.
Well, that's what you need to do if you want to play finals. You got to get the wins on the road. If you want to finish top 4, you got to win games against teams you should win. And you know, from what I've heard of Vossi, he can look you in the eye and give a fair talking to, probably, as Ebo probably attested.
Yeah, certainly attested that one. Yeah, honest but good.
But yeah, you probably just get back to what they need to do. You know, their trademark, what they want to do, their KPIs, and so this is obviously not good enough. What we want to be a team that's going deep into finals. Let's get it done.
Is there any pressure involved with the Carlton Footy Club side that they can still miss the finals? Yeah. So is that playing on the back of their minds? Surely not.
Oh, I don't know if you'd be going that far, but they haven't had success at that club for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a decade.
They've put themselves in a really good position up to date, and I reckon with Vossi being all the maturity he has and experience he's gained over 20 to 30 years involved in footy, I don't think he'd let them get too far ahead of themselves. But this week, we worry about this week, we get it done, and finals will take care of itself when we get there. But right now, I think they'll be invested in this quarter. But you know, as a player and as a supporter, their supporters are probably looking to the finals. They've been starved of success over the number of years, but I think Vossi will keep them in tune. Yeah,
to get into your point about the Crows bringing the pressure and playing 4 quarters, you know, you look at that quarter, the Crows had 21 inside 50s, Carlton had 8. There was a string in that quarter where the Crows had 15 out of 16 inside 50s. The first 16, they had 15 of them, kicked 3 goals. The last 5 minutes of that quarter, Carlton had 5 inside 50s, kicked 2 goals, 1. So it's just, you know, that they can just see Carlton can be damaging and crack them open if the Crows drop their guard for a little bit.
For fielders, all your fencing needs this footy season. Dom, a key matchup. What are you looking for in the second half?
Well, Berry and Cripps have been, it's been a pretty big duel. Cripps has been massive, he's had plenty of disposals. I mean, even that quarter had 11 disposals. He's leading the ground for Carlton with contested possessions, but you just know he's a warrior. You just know that he wants to play finals, and he's a chance to come out this third quarter and really try and set the tone. So Berry has done a really good first half, but he's got to try and quell his influence for the rest of the game.
Half-time, Biggles, you know what that means? It's Amy Klinger time.
Geez, they're great sponsors. They're great sponsors, and we'll just brush over this segment and come back to Amy, I would have thought.
Who covers clangers on and off the field? Amy does. Here's our clanger up to half-time.
Gee, these umpires are good. Knew his name straight off. First and second. I can't even remember my kids' names. What, Jerry? Seinfeld's come in. Who ripped out the Seinfeld music?
I thought we were almost going to have to rip 30 seconds out there at one point there, Biggles. You just kept going on and on about some footy trips. I'm thinking, oh, no, where's this going?
You're just the gift that keeps on giving, mate. Give us something in the second half.
It'll be there. Just give him the rope. He does the rest. No question about that. Red Biglan's our half-time Amy Clanger. Flying around the
We're honest on Triple M, aren't we?
Around the grounds, there's a level of honesty. RAA ensure with the locals today. Big game on at the moment. The Cats, they've just hit the front against the Bulldogs after being down all night. They're in the third quarter there. That is a big, big game for both clubs, in particular the Western Bulldogs. Earlier today, of course, Port beaten by 6 points. Collingwood yet again in another thriller, and the Swans big winners over the Giants. It's half-time here at the Adelaide Oval. We've got the second half to come your way. Adelaide lead it by 4 points, 36 to Carlton 32. Back with the second half for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Sunday Rub can always sniff out a headline.
Ross, to be clear, have you got any desire to enter the senior coaching fray again?
I've got no certainty for you either way.
Because we have very strong sense.
Your aftershave is quite strong today. What have you rolled with?
It's called desire.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from 12:30 for the Tigers and Lions. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
You don't have to sail the 7 seas to be a sailmaster. You just have to head to North Haven. There's a heated deck, open fires, heartwarming food, the Nautica function room, a big screen, and a sports bar, all overlooking North Haven Marina. The Sailmaster. Be entertained by the water. The Sailmaster at North Haven.
There's a lot of history hidden at Repco, so listen up, because this ad will be gone in 30 seconds. See, some people reckon we got 10W30 in our veins. Or if we look to the skyline, all we see are falcons, bluebirds and 200 bees. The truth is, we've got an unexplainable bond with motoring. Any Mark, Dick or Jamie could tell you that. So dart in store or online today for great deals. Repco, driven by passion for 100 years.
Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia. Watch all the sports action on a big screen. Immerse yourself in the LG 65-inch 4K Smart TV, now only $1,195. Save $400 on the 65-inch LG QNED Smart TV, now $3,495. Or catch every winning moment on the LG 65-inch OLED Evo TV. Save $500, now hot price $3,995 plus bonus local delivery. Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Australian avocados are great value right now. To celebrate, they're officially unofficially sponsoring every dinner time in July. Make mac and cheese magnificent or your salmon sing with an AV, AVO, AVOC ADO. Grab our green gold Australian avocados today.
Peter Shearer Menswear is the brand with the brands and will always price match on identical items. But most of all, our staff are helpful, honest and understand all body shapes are unique. petershearer.com.au. Peter Shearer Menswear, always ahead of the game.
A Scottish bloke walks into a house and starts painting a wall. No, this isn't a joke. This actually happened. And you know what? 20 years later, Bradley Painting now has the largest in-house painters in SA. Bradley Painting offers interest-free payments, a 5-year workmanship guarantee, and no obligation-free quotes. It's not a laughing matter. Bradley Painting can meet any deadline. So what are you waiting for? Request an on-site quote at bradleypainting.com.au.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Half-time at the Adelaide Oval, and the Crows lead it by 4 points. It's 5-6-36 Adelaide. Carlton 5-2-32 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy, and we're not far away from taking you into our Beacon Trade third quarter, supporting tradies with over 120 stores nationwide, expert trade teams and exclusive trade services, a huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories, making every tradie's job easier. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. We've got Dom Cassisi, we've got Sean Burgoyne looking at this big clash tonight. Adelaide lead it by 4 points. Second half, what are you expecting to unfold, boys?
Well, I expect the Adelaide Crows to learn from past games this year where they've been in games up to half-time, they've come out and they've just dropped away and been blown away by the opposition. So, the coaching staff would have said, guys, what have we learned over the past, 8 or 9 games when we've been in them? We need to wipe the first half out and come out and bring our intensity, bring everything that's got us into this game and stay there. So, I think they would have just regrouped and regathered them and made them unaware that they're playing a quality team and they're going to come out breathing fire. So we need to keep our pressure and our intensity up.
Dom, in the opening half we spoke about Adelaide's lack of desire to bring the ball through the middle, and at certain times Sean was pointing out that the options were there. So do you think it is more a player confidence thing rather than a directive to come down the boundary line for Adelaide rather than inboard?
No, I think it's a directive. I reckon it's their game plan, because even because you can understand young players, when you're young, you just sort of, the game's quicker than what it really is. But Brodie Smith a few times got on the half-back. He's got an elite kick, and he doesn't even look in the corridor. So their structure is territory. I know Nixie's a very defensive mindset, which is fine. It's to gain territory, play safe, get the numbers around the contest, and then keep going like that. So there's nothing wrong with that if they can continue it for 4 quarters. It doesn't matter what your game plan is, but if you can do it for 4 quarters, you're a chance to win the game. What Sean's saying, can they do that though?
I think they kick long as well, like you're saying, and then everyone knows what they're doing, and they're getting 8, 9 numbers around the ball, and it's very predictable, and then they're not being picked apart. So I think that's where they're coming from, whereas Carlton, they got the ball, they're trying to switch, they're trying to come inside, they keep possession, uncontested marks, handball receives, but it's just who can do it the best, which style is going to crack, and then maybe the rain stays away and we get a bit more of an exciting contest. But it's interesting to see the 2 different tactics. But one thing with the Adelaide Crows is if you keep rolling and kicking it long down the line, the defenders just sag on the outside because they're going to have first access. They're a bit smarter than that, defenders these days. So it'll be interesting to see how the tactics go this weekend, this third quarter.
Sean Burgoyne, Dom Cassisi there. We're about to get this third quarter underway. Here's Red Biglands on Triple M footy.
Well, a win for the Blues will all but guarantee a finals appearance. Can they go on with it? They trail by 4 points. Adelaide are right into it. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, and Adelaide get the clearance through Berry. It's spilled to the members' side. He pumps it over the top of Taylor Walker's head. And a kick out of bounds on the full from Plowman. Put too much into it as he tried to get out a defensive 50. Chase Jones will reload. He looks to come inside, but the kick was ill-directed. Somehow gets over back to Keys. Schonberg tries to balk one to Tex around the corner. Snap on goal right in front of the point post, but didn't get its way through.
I like that from Chase Jones. I just didn't bomb it in. He just tried to use his skills. Carlton player dropped it, but he lowered his eyes, and they get a mark there. That's a scoring option. So a little bit of a change with him.
Sean Burgoyne there and Dom Cassisi for Seabus. Seabus super. Making hard work pay off. Carlton. They work it out of the back half through McGovern. Gets it working to the Cottrell direction. Adelaide brings some numbers and some heat. Dawson did very nicely. Got around Fisher well. Put a left foot ball forward on the lead up Keys. Murphy had ground level support. Sends a left foot ball off the side of the boot actually. It's out on the full, so Carlton are going to get the ball. They're at half back. Crows lead it by 5 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Bit like a vortex over there on the eastern side. 4 or 5 kicks out of bounds on the full. Not a lot of breeze to speak of, but rain fell early in the match. Adelaide by 5 points after Carlton led by 3 points at quarter time. Entertaining affair. Adelaide Crows can shape the top 8 by knocking the Blues around. So they slow play it up on the outer wing. Cottrell has the footy. His eyes are coming inside, called to play on. Here the umpire's mic'd up exclusively for Triple M. Down the long to Koning. Strong. Got over the back. Motlop turns on the Jets, takes on his opponent, gets around. Now a forward handball. Shot on goal from Owies. Across the face, but he dribbles it. And it just misses. You can hear the Bronx cheers from the Adelaide supporters, so a minus score for the Blues. So 5-7-37 Adelaide, 5-3-33 Carlton. That's 4-point lead. Let's get down to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, guys, so Nick Newman is out of the game with a cut to his knee, so he is not returning. And also Adam Chera just came up from the rooms as well, so the doctor's getting busy over here for Carlton.
Well, good stuff there. So Carlton had already activated their medical sub as well, so they're down a player as Fogarty. Adelaide are out here. Keys is going to run in for his second. He had McAdam there if he wanted to dish the handball, but Keys gets the goal, and Adelaide are out by 10. 6-7-43, Carlton are 5-3-33. Triple M Beacon Trade Scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne on Triple M Footy.
Just on the Harvey Norman replay there, Fogarty really smart, marked the ball, got up and rolled onto his non-preferred, gets it over the back to Keys. He does what he does best and push hard. But just back on Newman, so would he have a cut on his knee that they can't stitch up, or but to miss with a cut, would it be so severe that you need a number of stitches?
Yeah, that could be the one. Obviously, it's a deep gash because they've outlawed the screw-in sprigs to people's boots these days. You can't have the metal sprigs. They've got to be moulded. So I'm not sure how it could occur, but anyway, Brad Ebert will be all over it. McDonald's and Ream Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Crows by 10 points. We're back in the middle. Cripps overran it. Little toe poke from Berry out to the wing. And Laird gets it back. Nice spread. Now Hinge. Wobbles one to half forward. Sard attacked the footy with some vigor. Smashed in. Took on Chase Jones. Went straight through and then wrapped him up. Wonderful effort from Sard. McGovern jams it on the boot. And Brodie Smith going back to the flight takes the mark. Adelaide by 10 points. 17.5 left in this third term. Early doors. Now back to McGovern. Sorry, Dawson. Jordan Dawson has the footy, averaging 24 disposals. 15th in the AFL for intercept possessions, Dawson. Now, beautiful kick. God, he's a good user of the footy. Spots up McHenry at half forward.
So McHenry, 10-point Adelaide lead. Sends it right to the dangerous spot. One-on-one contest. That was O'Brien for Adelaide and Pitnet. High soccer off the deck. Handball from Walsh for Carlton. Jones is wrapped up. Tried to brush the tackle, then dropped the ball. No free kick either way. And Cherahi's wrapped up. Have a ball up at half forward here for Adelaide. Brad Ebert, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, the Carlton doctor is keeping very busy, boys. Matthew Kennedy snuck down to the rooms now as well, so I'll keep an eye on that.
Be a busy night for the man returning from Europe. Brad Ebert there for Bob Jane T-Marts. He's been to Wimbledon, he's been to Lake Como, he's been to the south of France, and now he's watching the Carlton bench. Here's McGovern, deep in the back pocket, sending it towards centre wing. G. Dawson, he flew high. Big body pressure there from Jones. It's a couple of strong body options he's had in the last couple of minutes. It's out of play. Have it thrown in right in front of the Triple M commentary box.
Got a great look there on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay of the contest at ground level. The new Google Pixel 6a available at Harvey Norman. Plus, receive a bonus $150 gift card from the boundary throw-in. Oh, Cripps was completely shoved in the back. Laird was way overzealous. And they're going to bring it back, aren't they? No. So, they get on with it through Walsh, who didn't even listen to the umpires. He just ran forward, tried to send him to attack. Dawson, another intercept possession. Reads it well. Adelaide draw up their attack. Slow play. Laird gets back off it. It's amazing work from Laird. He infringed on the wing here, and then a second later pops up in the middle of the ground. Just continual movement from the All-Australian and dual best and fairest for Rory Laird. So Murray, long kick to half forward. Young went under it for the Blues. Plowman missed the tackle on McAdam, who turned him inside out. Cripps' hands were good, though. Terrific intercept. Now McGovern tried to kick around the corner. Silvani, the activated subs on. And that's Lockie O'Brien for the Blues. Looping handball in the path of Silvani. Spots up Curnow. Beautiful kick at half forward. About 80 from home.
So he kicked a couple at this end. Curnow in the opening quarter sends a high ball. Mackay. What about the kick and what about his ability to get rid of defenders? He'll go back and have a shot on goal.
Really good connection there from obviously the two forwards there. Charlie looking to see him one-on-one, but then the kick was advantage side over the back. Didn't allow the spare Adelaide Crows player to come in and spoil.
Sean Burgoyne there for Seabus with Dom Cassisi. He's lining up for the check side. Oh, no. The left foot check side, Shorty.
Just a drop punt. That's an easy drop punt. On the slightest of angles, there's no need to do the check side. The regulation drop punt will get that goal 9 times out of 10 for Harry.
Mackay doesn't do it. He reckons he's a 10% better kick. I've read a couple of reports, always kicking around the corner.
Checky or snap?
Well, I'm not sure what basket he puts him into, but he's infringed here. He came over the top of the mark and he's given away a 50. And Adelaide across half back. So Parnell gave it to Brodie Smith. Sends it in the Himmelberg direction. McGovern was good at the front. Himmelberg was better at ground level, but immediately run down from behind. What a tackle. Brilliant work there. Was that Cripps? He's a machine. Ran down and didn't infringe on Saligo. Saved a shot on goal. What a star Patrick Cripps is. 7th in the AFL for clearance. And he's trying to lift his side, so there's a push that's going to go the way of the Crows, and it's Worrell. It's just game number 2, who's been pretty good. So number 24 sends it into the pocket. Tex had a look, decided not to fly, and Young gets a double fist over the line. Dom Cassisi on Triple M footy.
Yeah, Res Ed lending stats, boys. Cripps up to 23 disposals, 11 contested. And then for the Crows, Smith, 25 disposals, 832 metres gained. He's definitely kept them in the game with 9 inside 50s as well.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. Adelaide lead it by 9 points. Third term, played nearly 9 minutes. It's in there, 50 again. Walker out of the contest. She showed some brute strength. Saligo, nicely measured. McHenry will go back and have a shot.
They'll take that mark, but that's all of 9 metres. I don't know how the umpire thinks that's a 15-metre kick. But they'll take the shot on goal. Just a Harvey Norman replay. Tex Walker using his brute strength again, pushing Pitnet away. Kicked the goal home in the first quarter. Very almost got that clearance again.
So McHenry, 3 seconds left on the shot clock, comes in. And he nails the goal very nicely. So Adelaide are out by 15 points again. It's 7-7-49 Crows. Carlton 5-4-34. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Dom Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne on Triple M footy.
Yeah, well, Carlton are being put to the sword here. They are going to be interested to see how their midfield and their leaders step up in the next 5 to 10 minutes, because so far this quarter, the Crows have been so dominant. Contested possessions, they're winning by 4. The hard ball gets us 7-0, and the clearances are 4-1, let alone the fact that centre bounce clearances, the Crows have won 2 to Carlton none. So it's all happening in the midfield. The big body midfielders of Carlton are just not getting their hands on the footy, and the Crows are teaching them a lesson at the moment.
Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne in control of them tonight. We'll get down to Brad Ebert in a minute. Got an update with the Carlton bench. So McDonald's and Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Carlton been good at the centre bounce, but Riley O'Brien, he got the ball at ground level, hacked it forward. Well, that was a free kick to centre field. He was held, not paid. Keys, though, gathered and just put in the path of Taylor Walker, who had too much oil on his hands. It was right in front of his face and it just slipped out.
It's the easiest mark he'll ever drop.
What was Tex thinking? Doesn't normally drop those. He's got the shoulders oiled up. Half time, and loves a douse of the baby oil, but Adelaide dropped a golden opportunity.
So this means a turnover ball to Carlton. Silvani, the medical sub, it's going in his direction. Beautiful body work. Silvani takes the mark, and he will kick a goal from the top of the square.
That's the line, Jack.
Yeah, you just can't give a team like Carlton a whiff like that. That could have been a shot on goal from Tex. Easy. 15 seconds gone. Then they go down and Carlton have a chance here to stem the flow. They have their backs against the wall.
So the old 2-goal turnaround in the space of not long. The Tex goal goes begging. Silvani gets the goal and we're back to 9 points. Carlton 6-4-40. Adelaide 7-7-49. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Bob Jane T-Marts, Brad Ebert.
You might remember that I talked about Matthew Kennedy going down to the rooms just before. He's resurfaced and come back onto the ground, so that's good news for Carlton. They're really needing those numbers out there at the moment.
Bob Jane T-Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
It's a big centre clearance here. Carlton have not won one this quarter. Crows are 3 centre clearances to Carlton 0. So lucky enough to get a goal stem against the flow of play because the Crows have been pretty strong. So this is massive for Carlton.
Things are really warming up here at the Adelaide Oval. And McDonald's also warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. And they bring us the footy in the centre of the ground. Adelaide by 9 points. McDonald's Arena Hot Water, Triple M rocking footy here. And now smashing through was Laird. They jump on him. Walsh has been terrific. And the paid holding the ball. Kennedy is going to be the recipient. Schomburg couldn't get it out. Had all sorts of stacks on the mill. Carlton are having a moment. Kennedy around the corner. To the pocket they go. Silvani got hands on it. Couldn't quite bring it down. Now Butts. Saligo tackled. How did he dispose of it? Fairly, said the umpire. Now a shot on goal. Is that Fisher? Misses. Fisher with a flying snap. Just missing. And Carlton are really pressing. 7-7-49 the Crows. 6-5-41. Margin back to 8. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, you get the feel that little window for Carlton might be starting to open here. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne have said they won't need a big one if they can get a bit of clear ball. Carlton. Dawson played on, gained 45 metres and released in the Walker direction, takes the mark. So Tex, front edge of the centre square. He's got a pretty open 50, a laser sort of ball. Millerer. Diving mark straight in front, 45 out.
Jordan Dawson kicking the ball out from fullback, runs 20-30 metres to his right, comes back up the left, kicks it, best part of a 60-metre drop punt, almost to centre half forward to Walker. I think that's the only time I've ever seen that in my whole footy career. Walker rolls and hits Malera, but very, very adventurous from Dawson, and it paid off.
Well, we're talking a two-kick situation pretty much from end to end almost. Millerer to come in and finish. City end goal, straight in front. Kick on the way. Fading away late. He's missed. Minor score, 9 points Adelaide on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Very adventurous. High risk, high reward. Dom, is that the first time you've seen that, two kicks?
Yeah, it was a great piece of play.
Things are heating up. Sard bounds out of the goal square and tips to Setterfield. Barely 15. Still just 5 metres out from the goal square. Miller tried to shut him down. Sard knows what he's doing though. And now Setterfield long to Kennedy, but Chera, outstanding hands in the pack. He's averaging 23 disposals this year, the former Docker. Still only 22 years of age. What a pickup he has been for the Blues, Chera. But this one is a high up and under ball to the wing to Koenig. Sets. Riley O'Brien with a big fist. Now Lockie O'Brien for the Blues. Set upon. And we'll have a ball up right in front of the interchange gates. Adelaide lead by 9 points.
So De Koning in the ruck for Carlton. Gee, big tackle by Saligo. And still going on with it with Kennedy, who, as Brad Ebert reported, was just on the bench getting checked over before. Carlton are a player down, of course. Durden out with a shoulder, and then Newman with a gash that was unable to be stitched up to play on. So he's out as well. So Silvani came on. He's kicked a goal, the sub for Carlton, but they're one short on the bench. If you look at the Harvey Norman replay, the Carlton bench, here's Worrell. He's had a nice game tonight for Adelaide. Now Carlton's defence. Here's Cripps on the defensive 50. Lockie O'Brien. Nice over the top, back to Cripps. A bit of run and gun. Adelaide bringing some heat. Kennedy got boot to ball.
And Hamill got Cripps with a nice hit, but Cripps will get up. They go through half forward. Lockie O'Brien got it back from Curnow on the left foot. Long to the pocket. Got a one-on-one. Oh, he's in trouble. But he just pushed his opponent out. Fisher shuts down Smith, and Smith kicks out of bounds on the full. So this will go back to Lockie O'Brien. And he's going to give it to Charlie Curnow. Smart move.
Cripps is feeling it behind the play. Hamill lined him up, didn't he?
He got him. So Curnow wheeled around from 50. He has unlimited range. Shot on goal, just fell short. Monster kick when he gets on the arc. Charlie Curnow, doesn't he release it? Through for a minor score. So Adelaide grows by 8 points. 7-8-50. Carlton is 6-6-42. Trillium Beacon Trade scoreboard.
The Carlton a little more awake to the Dawson run there. They cut it short a bit. He goes to Laird. Contest, centre wing out of play.
Still watching Paddy Cripps. You can still see he's a bit winded walking around. Interesting to see his next contest.
Sean Burgoyne there. with Dom Cassisi for Seabus tonight. I think Murray's come to the boundary as well. Brad Ebert might be able to have a look at that shortly for Adelaide this time. How's Cripps? He gathered, he gave, he got it back. He's running to 50. Cripps involved in that situation. It was a little half-chipping ball. And it's been intercepted by Worrell, who takes the mark on the last line.
Was he going for goal?
No, I think he was passing it because he put his hands up to the forward as if you were leading to the goal square. But when you're hitting the 50 no one around, you have a shot.
I would have thought 9 times out of 10 Cripps would have nailed the goal, but he was too unselfish looking for Owies, who he was pleading with to double back, and now it ends up on the wing through Fogarty, who puts long into the pocket. Sard, did he infringe against Keys? Keys gets on the treadmill and runs that 16 kilometres an hour on a 14 kilometre an hour treadmill and goes nowhere. The boundary throw in.
The game's starting to open up, boys, I reckon, and Keys' role on Sar's been amazing. Keys normally on ball, he's played that defensive forward role, kicked 2 goals. Sar's only had the 13 disposals. Could be a big matchup for the Crows to win this game tonight.
Matchups for fielders. Throw in. Tex got the tap down. His ruck work forward is really impressive as far as getting some sort of advantage. Here's Millerer. Laird. Handball out into a bit of space. It just beat McHenry over the line. Let's head to Bob Jane T-Mart boundary. Brad Ebert.
Yeah, so Nick Murray's just getting a little bit of work done from my favourite physio, Tim Parham there. He's just getting his right ankle re-strapped, so it doesn't look like it's anything too major. It looks like he'll get re-strapped and get back out there soon.
He did have a hobble up. Thanks down there, Ebo, for Bob Jane T-Marts. Re-strapped him back out there. Now Murphy's in the pocket from the stoppage. On his opposite side, kicks around the corner. Taylor Walker full-chested, came out, took him on, came back inside with a handball. Saligo couldn't gather. Now it's spilling around in dispute in the forward pocket. Tex went back and got it. Throwing his weight around. Barry set upon. Cripps has got him. Did he take too long? He did. Cripps is starting to have an influence. Got him holding the ball in the back pocket for the Blues.
Since that hit, Cripps has had about 3 or 4 disposals and he showed no signs of it, is he?
He's only missed 1 game this year, Cripps, and he's second in the competition for freeze 4. Picks up another one there.
Gets it up to centre wing. De Koning for Carlton. Just tumbles it. It's a foot race. Dawson and Silvani. Bounce favoured Silvani. Tried to tap it and gain advantage. Dawson kept his feet. Silvani fell over. Led for Adelaide. They're strong back here. Hinge a little over the top. Handball. Got it to Himmelberg. Linked up with Hamill. A better run from Butts. Adelaide working from back to forward pretty quick. Walker. He's under it. Sard with a big fly. Texan gathered. Left foot Sizzler. Puts it out in front. Running onto it the Fog. Sets up the handball. Keys will kick his third. Crows are out by 14 points. It is Adelaide moving along to 8.8.56. Carlton a 6.6.42 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting tradies over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi.
Well, that long high ball went to Walker and Sard had no choice but to contest that ball with Walker. As soon as it hit the ground, Keys bolted to the goal square. Walker picks it up, rolls on his left and then gets it out to the Fog. Fog looks up and Keys in the goal square running on that treadmill that you talk about all the time, Biggles, and he kicks his another goal. So he's doing a really good job on Sard at the moment, as Dom just mentioned.
Well, it would have to be a PB for Ben Keys. You would have thought, averaging 28 disposals and having a real influence here tonight. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Look at Walsh get busy, back to Cripps at the centre bounce. They're under heat, the Blues. Now to Kennedy. Oh, he was dumped. Chase Jones put him on his backside. Now Lockie O'Brien, I should say. Oh, TDK to Koning. He took the mark in the goal square, but the umpire said he held on to Worrell. And the Carlton fans are filthy behind the goals. The cheer squad aren't happy. I'll have to get a look at that one. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. The Crows are out of trouble.
Gee, they're hanging tough here, Adelaide. They lead it by 14 points and they work it to half forward again. Here's Keys doubling back. He just socketed it off the deck. Walker trying to feed back. Here's Murphy to Walker. Texan Salts and
Keys
Kendi.
again.
Keys had an opportunity for 4. He just missed the handball. And it goes through for a minor. This is extraordinary stuff at the Adelaide Oval. 15 points, Adelaide's lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, Worrell, second game, standing in front. He's in front. He's being proactive. Brad said it in the first quarter. It gets rewarded with that free kick, and that's the reason why they have a shot on goal. He's been huge tonight. He's had 9 intercepts. He's been the most influential defender on the ground.
Dom Cassisi giving great insights. Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. The youngster in Warrell in the goal square on Tom de Koning. What a one-on-one matchup it was, and he got the free kick. They went down the other end, and now the other youngster getting involved for the Crows. Will Hamill sees it over the boundary line. And the Crows army and the crowd, they're up and about, loving every moment of this young side. They're in front by 15 points. Blues looking to hang on to September. They need a win to lock it away. Even though Port Adelaide are out of the race now, it's a tough, tight top 8. Cripps got pushed over the line. Berry went through. Unnecessary over the line. They're really trying to get into Cripps. It's not working, is it?
He's having some sort of quarters up to possession number 12.
Extraordinary on the Red Z lending stats. Cripps played on, delivered. It was just a nice ball to Walsh. It was an inboard one. He's been paid the mark, or no. Umpire has paid. Straight to him the instruction. Here's Walsh for Carlton. He's 60 from home. Sends it in the pocket. And Adelaide's defence, Butt spilled it. Kennedy has a shot and he's missed. It's out on the full, in fact. So Adelaide are going to get the footy deep in defence. Owi's going on with it behind play with Parnell. Now Smith's coming in. Millerer. Here's Worrell, Curdo. Little spot fire here at the Adelaide Oval.
Still going on in front of the old scoreboard. A real WWE sort of stuff. Players smashing through, Butts throwing his big butt around. Always was the one who went through. Now Taylor Walker's going to get the down the ground free kick. He's in front of Brad Ebert, right on the interchange gates. Tex has been sensational tonight. Tough opponent Wiedering is kick looking for Himmelberg. Couldn't quite get the journey. McAdam gathers. Now Laird, been busy. Around the pocket, Murphy's got the sit. Sard back. Oh, Sard, terrific stuff. Courageous work under all sorts of duress. Takes the mark. And now Carlton are trying to retreat on the outer side through Cottrell.
Goes short. Measures the ball to Walsh. He goes wide. So Carlton have got the footy on the outer side. It's a 15-point lead for the Adelaide Crows. Going to go with a long ball here, Fisher. Left foot works it up to centre wing. Himmelberg, big fly, big mark. Crows with the footy. They lead this by 15 points. We've played nearly 25 minutes third term. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Himmelberg goes in the Fogarty direction. Riley O'Brien was set at the front. Big fist from the back came from the Blues defence. Kennedy, what was that? Under enormous pressure, he elected to kick, and it's out on the full.
1 foot on the line. 1 foot on the line. Berry providing the pressure for Adelaide. Going to send it into the pocket. McAdam's got to look at it, got to push out. Not paid. And Young takes the mark for the D's, standing tall. Had Fogarty as a matchup, and how courageous is that? The key backman plucked it out of the air and delivers out to the outer side. Kennedy had a look, but had it mentally punched away from him from Dawson. Adelaide Crows by 15 points. And we're inside 3 minutes left in this third term.
A lot of players around this ball. Tap down Pitternet to Walsh to Doherty. Carlton try and work it out of there. Ends up with Motlop. Here he is again, Cripps. Red Z lending stat number 13, I think, for the term. Silk. Now it works out to Doherty. Working here to Coding. Throw. Great pressure, McHenry. Adelaide get the footy across halfback.
So McHenry gets on with it. There's a runner on the outer side, and Dawson, who's racking up the Red Zs, goes to half forward. McAdam sits under it, fisting over the boundary line. So just recapping as well, the Blues are down a couple of soldiers. Nick Newman with a nasty gash, and Durden subbed out of the game as well. I did play with Wayne Carey when he gashed his knee onto the point post, and
I do remember that.
That was severe. Was that a showdown, was it?
It was against the point post at Footy Park.
Yeah, yes. He didn't come back on. So that's the type of thing we may be suspecting with with Newman. The Carlton will fight on. There's a lot on the line. And the free kick's going to go the way of the Blues. So Walsh was dumped and disposed of after he got rid of it. Is that too high? What's the umpire paid here? He went back at Schomburg with a couple of jumper punches. Walsh.
What's he doing?
I think he's corrected himself, the man in lime green. He has. He's going to ball it up.
Should have just been play on, shouldn't it?
Could have been. Well, O'Brien got it down. Cripps getting busy again with clearances. Schomburg jumped over the line. Adelaide crowd want too high. They won't get it.
Bit of spilt champagne over that side, boys, after that one, I tell you. They're not happy. Umpire's copping it.
Chardonnay Club are warming up.
Chardonnay, that's right.
Saturday night with Adelaide Oval, 15-point lead. They're pretty happy so far.
I'll tell you what, it's really getting some feeling around the contest, this one. And stepping through Kennedy for Carlton. Delivered to DeConing. Approaching half forward, over the top. Carlton got some numbers. Guess who? Cripps. Runs to 50. Sideways, handball to Walsh. Tight from the boundary. Top of the square sort of stuff. It misses the players, bounces, and it's out of play. We will have it thrown in. Left forward pocket, Cathedral end here for the Blues.
So they're dangerous here, Carlton. Silvani's up there. He's going to take the front of the stoppage with Mackay to Koning. And Curno's going to sit to the back of the square. So all the tall timber, and they're going to look for Motlop on the wraparound. The ball drops short. De Koning reads it best. Goes to Kennedy. Kennedy gathers to Lockie O'Brien. Back to De Koning. Tied up against the pocket. He looks for Motlop, but went over his head with the handball. Barry tried to play for a free kick, and Laird just gets it out of there. 50 metre high up and under ball. Himmelberg hits it forward. Now Wiedering has got the cavalry arriving on him, but steadies the ship and finds Young right in front of the Toyota logo to Lockie, and Lockie O'Brien sees it over the boundary line. Adelaide Crows by 15 points. Go, Silk.
The Adelaide Crows pressure is starting to get to Carlton now. They're making simple mistakes, missing simple kicks. Paddy Cripps is trying his hardest. He's had 14 disposals for the quarter on the Reds. It's up to 34, but the Crows pressure is starting to take its toll on Carlton.
Sean Burgoyne there with Dom Cassisi for Seabus tonight. Here's Laird stepping through traffic, delivering in the Keys Sard direction. Sard pushes off him, takes the mark. Gives a short ball. Gets it to McGovern, back to Sard. Carlton trying to build. Adelaide lead this by 15 points. Doherty basically in the middle of the Adelaide Oval. Gives it to the lead up for Silvani. He was a medical sub-activation for Durden, who's got a shoulder issue. They go inside 50. Mackay at the back. Tried to work it. Here's Motlop to Walsh. Tried the blind turn. Hamill tried to stick the tackle. It was intercepted by Jones for Adelaide, and they clear it out of defence.
Chase Jones intercepted it with his face. He smothered it with his face and it dropped in his hands. Great stuff from the youngster. Let's get down to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, it was just good at that last stoppage. Just hearing Matty Nix getting up and getting quite boisterous, making sure that Berry was really getting on Cripps there and making sure he really called it a tag. Just lock down, get it done.
Brad Ebert's been doing a wonderful job all night from the boundary throw. We'll get another restart. So Silvani having an impact now. There was a shock omission being dropped out of this side. They're going with a more experienced lineup and, well, more height, wanted to give some run, and there it is. Three-quarter time. Adelaide Crows in front by 15 points. They led at 4 points at half-time, and the Blues were in front by just 3 points at the quarter-time break.
And it is a 15-point buffer that Adelaide will take into the final term for RAA around the grounds. RAA insured the locals today, and currently it is the Cats by 7 points over the Bulldogs. They're in the final term there. Earlier today, Collingwood by 6 points over the Power, and the Swans big winners over the Giants. The Saints home by 12 over the Hawks. We've got a big final term coming your way. We'll hear from Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi. It's three-quarter time. Adelaide by 15 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's.
The songs you grew up with.
The songs you can sing along to. The songs that help you make it through the day.
Adelaide's good times and greatest hits.
Oh yeah, life goes on.
104.7
Triple M.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Are the goalposts starting to look a little blurred? Find out if you are a suitable candidate for laser vision correction and take the online eye suitability test today, thanks to Adelaide Eye and Laser Centre. This innovation in eye telehealth will help you understand the best laser vision option for you. Plus, Adelaide Eye and Laser Centre offer flexible finance options through Hum. Take the test today at aelc.com.au. Adelaide Eye and Laser Centre, the most trusted team when it comes to all things eye and laser. Fees, terms and conditions apply. Payment plan by Hum BNPL Pty Limited.
Australian avocados are great value right now. To celebrate, they're officially unofficially sponsoring every dinner time in July. Make mac and cheese magnificent or your salmon sing with an AV, AVO, AVOC ADO. Grab our green gold Australian avocados today.
To be the best, you need to train with the best. That's why I went to Peer Trade School for my plumbing apprenticeship. The equipment I use at Peer to develop my skills was absolutely top-notch. At Peer, they have the most incredible workshops. I'm talking real-life simulated workshops, from gas, pipework and appliance installations to hot and cold water services. I was blown away. If you've got a plumbing apprentice, do yourself a favour and send them to Peer for Trade School. For more info, visit peer.com.au. Because to be the best, you need to train with the best.
Did somebody say menu love? A little sushi while I watch a movie. Papaya salad while I sing a ballad. And I want acai, yeah, when I'm ordering delivery. When you're running through, there's only one place to go. 'Cause I get what I want when I want it. Margarita with extra cheese on it. Ding dong, ring it, somebody say menu love.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Get the new Google Pixel 6a 128GB for $0 upfront when you sign up to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. Plus, receive a bonus $150 Harvey Norman gift card. Offer ends August 8. Minimum cost $1,650. Not available with other offers. In-store only. Cancellation fees, terms and conditions apply. Visit Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Go, Harvey, go.
Santa Seafood. Fresh from the high sea. Santa Seafood.
Fresh from the high sea.
Mix and match 4 kilos of premium seafood for just $60. Atlantic salmon portions, flathead and barramundi fillets, crumb garfish, salt and pepper squid, crumb prawns and loads more. Mix and match 4 kilos for just $60. Open 7 days at Richmond Road, Richmond.
Santa Seafood. Fresh from the high sea. Santa Seafood. Fresh from the high sea. Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Repco. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
Oh, three-quarter time. What a game. Adelaide lead it by 15 points. It's 8-9, 57 Crows. Carlton, 6-6, 42. And we've got a big final term coming your way. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi. Silk, boy, what a quarter that was by Adelaide. They're able to hang tough.
They were. They had 16 inside 50s to 11, 3 goals, 3 to 1 goal, 4. They laid the actual challenge down to Carlton. They didn't sit on the back foot. They were throwing the punches, and Carlton were on the back foot. You know, a couple of key matchups, Keys versus Sard. Keys is doing a really good job tagging him, hardcore tag, and he's kicked the 2 goals for that quarter. In the third quarter, he's up to 3 goals, 1 for the game. Really, really interesting to see they've gone with Sard instead of Cripps or Walsh in the midfield. But Paddy Cripps, you could see the quarter was slipping away from his team, and they're still behind on the scoreboard. You know, captain's quarter, 16 disposals, 8 contested possessions. He was doing his absolute best, and he got lined up as well and got smacked really hard, which took the wind out of him. But a real captain's quarter, but Adelaide throwing all the punches and Carlton on the back foot.
In the last month, Adelaide have wasted a lot of ball that's gone into their attacking 50. They're not strong enough in the contest to keep it in there. They get enough looks at it. Are they going to be strong enough in this final term, and is there enough ball going in there?
Well, it'll be interesting to see, because this is what we're talking off air. What are we going to see from the Adelaide Crows? And in the past games we've done together, us guys, they've fallen away. So this is the challenge for them to stand up. They're in front. They've got the momentum to see if they can withstand it. And, you know, they're not getting, conventional goals. Keys is getting goals on the back of tagging someone and working off him. which is really good because, you're keeping one of their most dangerous defenders in Saad honest.
Is that his role? It's been strange from Keys tonight. You think he's playing more of a run-with role across half-forward?
Well, this is really effective. He's having a major influence on the game, and he's playing as a half-forward, so if it's working, it is. But we'll see who can hold on.
Well, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here's Rhett Biglands to get the final term underway. Adelaide by 15 points.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Final term underway. Looking for a big one. Final still an offer for the Blues, and Cripps is going to have a big say in it. Tracks it back, jumps on it, and Berry also jumps on the footy. And we see Doherty with a heavily strapped left leg. Say he's got a nasty corky in that one. It's been good so far, though. Cripps again putting himself at the feet of the ruckman, goes past it. Rolly O'Brien with toe poke. Saad, hacking kick, went smashing through, out of the air. High up and under ball. McGovern went past it. Great pick up from Saligo to McHenry. Now Keys tries to put it into attacking 50. Can hear the umpire. Taylor Walker grabbed it. Turned back in the corridor. Shot on goal. Great work from Saligo. Followed up, but he misses. Probably had more time.
He did. A missed opportunity. Even Keys then rolling on his right foot. McAdams free inside 50, but can't kick on his right foot. But they still get a shot on goal. That would have been the perfect start for the Adelaide Crows.
Adelaide Crows lead by 16 points. Start of the final term at the Adelaide Oval.
So Saad, Carlton really up against it at the moment. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne for Seabus tonight picked up pretty well in that third quarter. That the pressure, Carlton were feeling it. Adelaide just kept bringing it. Can the Blues get things rolling? Walsh coming up for his 31st Red Z lending stat. He delivers down the line. Contest here. We've got the Koning, we've got Pitnet, a couple of the big boys for the Blues, Riley O'Brien and Worrell for Adelaide. It's out of play.
I reckon it's going to fill each other out here for the first minute or two, and then bang, she's going to be on. I reckon one team's going to have a crack at winning this instead of trying to hold on.
Will the Adelaide Crows mail it in? That is the question. And the Blues are desperate. Ream Hot Water desperate. A bit tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to hot water heating. Ask your plumber to install a ream. From the boundary throw in, the Bronxies came about. They thought it was too high, the Adelaide supporters. And Chera barrels through and jumps on top of Laird. 16-point lead, Adelaide Crows. Right in front of us here, Triple M commentary position. The ruckman locked up. Pitnet couldn't get at it. And Riley O'Brien, they were sort of doing a tango move that you see on dance floor. The umpire picked out Pitnet. Free kick to the big man. Back into the side to Doherty. The handball. The handball was undecided, and then Doherty got it back. He was dumped by Hinge, sends it into attack, gets over the back, and Butts read it best. Oh, he had some worries, though. Butts gave it to Hamill, put him under pressure, and stepped over the boundary line. So it's in the forward pocket for the Blues, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
We just see if the Carlton can get some repeat inside 50s. They've only had the 37 tonight. Inside 50s, Crows have had 50. So to see now where they can just lock them in and put the Crows defence under the pump. They haven't been able to do that all night tonight.
Big stoppage coming up here. City end goal. Carlton going this way. Throw in was very shallow. De Koning got the tap down. Hinge came through. Walsh got it across. Fisher squares it up. Going at the back. Cottrell takes the mark. And he knows how to slot it through. Goes back straight in front, 25-30 out.
It was a really good kick there by Fisher on the right foot. Put it up nice and high. You could see Cottrell thinking he had to sit. Do I try to take a screamer here or do I just check the body? He checked the body, takes the mark. But you can see his thought process.
So Cottrell to drag it back to 10 points. Straight in front. City end goal. Adelaide lead it by 16. Cottrell comes in and he gets the goal. We're back to 10 points. Adelaide lead at Triple M Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco, driven by passion for 100 years. It's 58 Adelaide, 48 Carlton. We've got Dom Cassisi, we've got Sean Burgoyne tonight on Triple M Footy.
Yeah, as every centre bounce comes now, they become more and more important. Crows have been really good in that area tonight, so this is going to be huge, this next one. I mean, one thing the Crows should be happy with tonight, Sean, as you know, one of the big stats in the game is ground ball gets. They're beating Carlton by over 20 in that area, which is a massive differential. Just means they've been hunting the ball more, getting more numbers to the fall of the ball when it's on the ground. So if the Carlton can hedge their bets in that area, then there'll be more of a chance again to win tonight.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. Dom Cassisi with the ground ball gets another stinker of a bounce. The umpire, just throw it up, mate. He's had a mare. That man, it's not that hard, really, is it? Used to run and jump under it for a career. They got to throw it up anyway. McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Palm down was good. Smashing through Laird, went past it. And the free kick against Pitnet, who really went high. It was up against Saligo. So they switched to the wing. Brodie Smith. Eyes off his targets up forward. McHenry's pushed Sard under it. Sard got a hand to it though, just brought it down. Taylor Walker goes through. And then Taylor Walker jumps on top. Keys. They're calling for holding the ball.
He's paid it.
And are you kidding me? And that's what Plowman's saying. Taylor Walker was the one that dragged it in. Can't wait to see this on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, but he's going to have a shot, 30 out, holding the ball against the Blues.
Falls out, yeah, there you go. Taylor Walker grabs it in and pins it against his calf. Yeah, not a good decision from the umpire there.
You know what? McGovern had to get up. He could have easily stood up then. It's just you don't chance those things in this time of the game.
So an umpiring gift to Taylor Walker directly in front. He punched it low and he shanked it. Maybe the footy god squared that one up, because Mitch McGovern got done holding the ball by holding it on his calf. LA Crows by 11 points.
It was.
6 minutes gone in this final term. Cracking game of footy so far. Turnover across half back. Oh, McAdam got involved. Another handball out. Keys. Handball over the top. Tex in the goal square. Exclamation point, Adelaide. Bangs it through. And a double fist to the Carlton cheer squad from Taylor Walker. 9-11-65. 7-6-48. Margin back out to 17 points. Triple M Retco scoreboard.
The Adelaide Crows boys are getting around McAdam, because he's running past in that tricky area where you're just outside the infringement area, and the Carlton player kicks the ball. He sticks his hand up and gets the intercept. They get the turnover, and your man Keys running on that treadmill was thinking this is goal number 4, but hands it over to Walker, who kicks that goal. But really smart play for Shane McAdam, because he's running, chasing his player, trying not to give 50 away, but still watching the ball, sticks his hand out, gets the intercept.
It was a poor couple of minutes by McGovern. He did the turnover. He gave away the holding the ball. We could have been stronger in that contest, and that time there he could have got more off the mark.
Dom Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne, some terrific insights here on Triple M. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Adelaide lead it by 17 points, and a big tackle by Dawson on Walsh. Will have a ball up.
Tom, thanks, Sam.
So time, we've got 15 and a half, a bit over, left in this game. Adelaide with a 17-point lead, just as Carlton were threatening to start to come with something. Now to Koning, out of the contest. Got it working up towards half forward. Jones, little undergrounder to Parnell, busted through a couple of Blues, didn't take the Sharon with him. Kennedy had it, got it to Silvani, inside 50, McKay being held, or Mackay I should say. Ground level ball, no free kick. Motlop brilliant, was he legged? No, he got a handball away. Oh, he's done for holding the ball. Crows get the free kick. Laird.
Some massive moments in the match. Mackay surely should have got a free kick, and then Laird barrels through Motlop. Even though he pushed him in the back, Motlop had too much time on the ball and picked up the free kick, and that was all happening in the forward pocket for the Carlton Footy Club. We've got a great look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Crow supporters up in arms, and new Google Pixel 6a is available now at Harvey Norman, plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. So LA Crows by 17 points. Michael Voss on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay ponders his thoughts. So he's down a couple of soldiers. Newman out, Durden subbed out, Silvani on. So for the ball up the outer side, Berry's been busy. Got the kick around the corner to half forward. McAdam, outstretched arms, strong in front, plucks it at his highest point.
Points the finger long. Does McAdam. Says get down there, because that's where it's going. Fogarty will fly from the side. Had first bite, couldn't drag it down. Nice little pick up, ground level by Jones to Millerer. Here's Laird tucked against the pocket. Sends a high ball. And very nicely done by Lockie O'Brien. And the Carlton defence takes a nice mark. Crows lead it by 17. O'Brien with the footy, deep in defence. Works into the contest. You had Mackay in there. Here's Cripps. Tried to take on the attempted tackle of Worrell. Got it to Silvani, who's running through centre wing.
The big man bounds away and has Curto and spots him up with a delightful kick. Curto outstretched arms, takes it. 90 from home on the flank. Had Walsh running by, shook him off. Shakes him off a second time. And now Curto looking for Mackay deep. Can't get a run at it. Chera also can't get a run at it. Motlop's trying to provide the pressure. Ground level spills to the pocket. Now they get the 1-2 back from Parnell, who puts on the Jets, but the kick wasn't great. Building the wall across the 50-metre arc is McGovern. He swings around. What a beautiful left foot ball from McGovern. Spotted up in the pocket. Cottrell turns around and got his second. So Carlton against the tide, get one. Beautiful kick from McGovern. 9-11-65, the Adelaide Crows. 8-7-54, margin back to 11 on the Triple M Repco scoreboard. Let's go down and see Brad Ebert on the boundary.
Yeah, now I know I talked about Berry on Cripps just before three-quarter time. It looks like that's been let go, and Berry's just in front of me here, and he is looking proppy. He's looking very ginger. It looks like a little bit of cramp, but at the same time I think he might also have a knock. And right next to him, Worrell went down like he's just been shot by Rhett Biglands in the stands there. He was cramping all over the place. So young player coming into the game. Yeah, it looks like he's just started cramping late into early into the fourth quarter.
No weapons in the stands, but great stuff for Bob Jane teammates. They look after you, don't doubt about it. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash backs on top tyre brands. Call 132625. Order online today at bobjane.com.au.
So we're back in the middle. We'd love to get Dom and Silk's thoughts on that particular Carlton goal and his next stoppage of play if they don't get another one in between time. Footy wrapped up, ball spills out. Little gather by Smith, got it out wide. Here's Jones working it up towards half forward for Adelaide. Wiedering leading in the race. Gathers the pill. Margin is 11 points. Adelaide lead at turnover ball. So Doherty turned it over straight to Saligo, who's got the footy at centre wing.
Saligo runs his 5 and kicks to Taylor Walker, and he sort of blocked out Wiedering and wouldn't let Wiedering get at the footy. So you could see what Tex was trying to do, but Wiedering was going hard at the footy.
Move it on, play on!
Been moving well since that corky he got against the Giants. No signs of that this week. Got up late, kicks out wide to Mackay, he's pushed right up to the wing. His eyes come back inboard, finds Fisher. So Fisher, centre wing. Undecided. Adelaide Crows by 11 points. 12 minutes left in this final term. Fisher to Curnow on the outer side, but the spoil late was good from Murray. And around the corner again. Kick was from Parnell, wasn't great.
So Plowman got it to Fisher. Very poor kick. Chance here, Adelaide. Fogarty through centre. Oh, Miller won't see Sard, who's just come off the bench. Miller gathered. Sard tackled him. Tried to get him in a leg lock. Couldn't get it working. They work it up to half forward Adelaide. Here's Keys, the game breaker. He's kicked 3 goals. And he's on the edge of 50. He wants to get it moving. Oh, off the side of the boot. Goes in the pocket direction. Falls to ground level. Opportunity. Oh, he had it, lost it there, Tex. Sard gathered. It's going to fall, is it? No. Over the head of Fisher. Miller a handball. It went to Keys. This way, that way. Fogarty takes him on the Fog. Oh. Little don't argue. Have a look at Fog. Have a look at Fog. Gets himself another. Adelaide are out by 17. That was big and brutish stuff. Adelaide at 9-11. They moved to 10-11-71. It is Carlton 8-6-54. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi on Triple M footy.
Really good goal there by Fogarty, wasn't it? Brute strength, busted through and kicks that goal, but that was a really poor attempt from Sard on tackle of Malera on the wing. He comes off his blind side. If he tackles him there, that's holding the ball. They get an inside 50. He doesn't tackle him, they get through, and Adelaide Crows get a shot on goal. They actually get a goal through Fog, but that should have been nailed on the wing there, Dom.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. You know, you've been part of a lot of these big games, and they talk about critical moments in games, and that was one of them. Got to stick the tackle, cause a stoppage.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Adelaide by 17 points, upset in the making. Now Berry from the stoppage, they win it again. Saligo Well, just strolls through half forward, spotted up Himmelberg, couldn't quite get him. Now Schonberg around the corner, followed up from stoppage, and Saad makes up for his missed tackle. Diving mark, 30 out from the Adelaide goal. Just slows things down a little bit. Man with the most bounces at the AFL, Adam Saad, the journeyman, at his third club, been called back by the umpires. He tried to take another bounce.
He did too.
So Adelaide Crows by 17. Chips to Doherty in the pocket. Looks for Lockie O'Brien. Finds him. Lockie O'Brien had Walsh running past, but Saligo was in his back pocket. So Lockie O'Brien bites off a beautiful kick in the middle. Stad passes it. Finds Kennedy. Back to Lockie O'Brien. On that left foot of his. So Chase Jones has got to go, but didn't. Completely misread it. And Cottrell, who's got back-to-back goals for the Blues, he has a half-forward, spins around, spots up Owies. Beautiful lead-up from Owies and some nice sharp ball movement by the Blues.
15 minutes into this quarter.
Owies back to Kennedy, who wanted to launch from 50, but the Adelaide Crows were aware, and they locked it up. And Doherty now undecided. Saligo's doing well, head clash. Still in dispute.
Ball bobbling around, and Adelaide strong in defence. Jones got it out of there. Carlton are rattled here. Here's Saad, gathering and delivering, looking for Cottrell. Big fist from the side. Jones, McHenry, the old over the head sort of handball. Sideways ball advantage. Keys has got it. Centre wing outer. Carlton have got numbers. Fogarty's got to beat a couple. He can't this time, and Plowman takes the defensive mark for Carlton. He misses the target. Here's Miller steaming through. Miller is running in. It's an open goal, and he slams it home. The Adelaide Oval alight on this Saturday night. The Crows by 23 points. We've got 9 minutes left, final term. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years. Dom Cassisi and Sean Burgoyne on Triple M footy.
Well, Miller has been great tonight. You know, he's done a lot of things when he hasn't got the ball in his hand, which maybe wasn't the strongest part of his game. But he's hunted, he's chased, he's had an influence. But more importantly, when he has got the ball in his hands, he brings something different that not a lot of the Crows players have, Sean.
Yeah, he's got X factor as well. But what I was going to say before when having that shot is I reckon the message going out to Carlton, get speed on the ball. We want to play green time. We need to score goals to win. If it works, we're in the game. If it doesn't, it's going to open us up just like that on the way back.
It's like Kennedy. Brad might give us an update, but he's got concussion.
Yeah, Ebo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, that is Kennedy, and he is pretty dazed there, so it does look like a concussion. He's going straight down, and yeah, from looks of things, I'm not a doctor, but that certainly looks like concussion, guys.
He's having a hard time staying upright, Kennedy. That is not great. Newman already out, Durden already out. So they're down to Plowman and Mackay on the bench. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks football. Look, O'Brien's been busy. His kick was partially smothered in the centre bounce by Schonberg. 1%ers winning the day. Saligo then gathered, kicked it into attacking 50. Here's that man, Keys. Got Saad for company. Saad wins out and was dumped. They should be hanging on, not paid. Back to Saligo, who ran past the footy. Oh, what was Walsh doing there? A little pirouette over the footy. And now back to Berry, to Schonberg. Has options inside. McHenry couldn't gather. Saad does. It flipped to Keys, though. And then they're still inside the attacking 50 for the Crows. Saad getting back, spilling around. Proudman holding the ball with just stacks of pressure around the footy at the moment. Somehow Fogg got one out. And Saad to Chera. Back with the flight. O'Brien was done. They should be holding the ball, but Brodie Smith just picked it up. Had a big up and under kick. Shot on goal was going to drop right in the goal square and spill out to the pocket. And I think we'll get a boundary throw in and hopefully catch a breath.
I think the umpire swallowed his whistle. There was about 6 or 7 free kicks there to, probably 3 each way. But it was a good footy, good pressure. The stakes have gone up.
Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Sean Burgoyne there tonight for Seabus with Dom Cassisi. Throw in. Adelaide by 23 points. We're in the final term. Riley O'Brien got the tap down. McHenry just runs out of tarmac and he's out of play. We'll have it thrown in again. Crows going to the Cathedral end. Carlton with a big job ahead here. There's still time, but they'd want to get on their bike soon. Adelaide have played a tough brand of footy. Throw in. Tap down, Cripps. Silvani, Chera, All Carlton. And Setterfield. It went to Miller, pumps it back inside. 50 McGovern, big fly. Takes the mark, and Carlton will try and clear from defence.
So they've got numbers to the members' side, and of course with the Saints getting up, the Carlton Footy Club need to win this match. They're not an assurance to play finals just yet. So long down the line, and Brodie Smith, been one of Adelaide's better players today, was on track to break Aaron Hall's metres gain record of 11.69. We'll come back to the Red Zeds to see where he's at the moment. Long kick into the pocket. That won't do him any harm as well, but it's been intercepted. That's Wiedering, I think, fluttering across. He's going down with a fake cramp.
It's a 9.44 at the moment, metres gained.
9.44. So just under 200 metres more needed to break the record which Aaron Hall set only a month ago.
And still down with what appears to be cramp here, Wiedering.
Jack, come over
and it's going to be Silvani who takes the kick instead. Wiedering still down. Silvani gets it out of there. Carlton have really struggled to get some clearance out of their back 50 since about the second term, really, as Cripps under pressure. Under all sorts of pressure. Schonberg, he worked through a tight space. Here's Murphy, sold some candy. Schonberg ran on, tried the don't argue that the fog delivered earlier. Here's Keys running, turning and going, delivering a handball. Himmelberg stepped around the body. Himmelberg! Oh, the Crows. They are dominating here at the Adelaide Oval. And they are out by 29 points, 83-54. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Sean Burgoyne and Dom Cassisi on Triple M footy.
We spoke about the tackle before. Saad missed on the wing. That cost a goal. There was another defender there who would like to have that moment back. Ben Keys just ran straight through him with the ball. Setterfield, I think it is. If he sticks that tackle, that's holding the ball. He doesn't. Keys gives a handball off to Big H, and he kicks a snap goal. It just shows you the importance of missed tackles, especially in your defensive half. But Keys has actually, I'm not sure what his goal assists are, but he's given off a few today.
29-point lead to the Adelaide Crows, and got almost 6.5 minutes left in this final term. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, decoding, beautiful palm down to Cripps. That was clinical. Now Cripps sends it into attack. Curnow went up early. Probably could have been paid either a free kick or the mark, but not paid. Murray dropped that. Absolutely dropped it. Like a knife in the kitchen. Just don't catch it. He dropped it, and all of a sudden, Motlop wraps him up and gets the free kick right in front of goal.
He's been lively, Motlop. Got his pace, his tackle tonight, his chase. There's a chance to finish his work here.
So Jesse Motlop, the youngest player out on Adelaide Oval tonight, from directly in front, releases from 40 and just pushes it right. Let off there. Door still ajar though. 12-11-83 the Adelaide Footy Club, 8-7-55 the Blue Baggers. Margin at 28 points. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco, driven by passion for over 100 years.
So with the footy, Adelaide through Dawson. They get it working to the outer side. Riley O'Brien wrapped up. Cottrell. Going hard there. Adelaide were good in and under. Chase Jones has done some good things. Fogarty taking him on at the back half. Delivering. Sard's in the spot here. Keys will close late. Sard and Keys. What a battle it's been. Keys has been on fire. And it is out of play, but he's been pushed into the security guard.
So Keys had the 3 goals won and the 4 goal assist, most on the ground, playing a shutdown role on Sard tonight.
He's been super important, Keys, averaging 28 disposals, top 5 in the last 2 BNFs. Cottrell's been good for the Blues, though. He got the clearance at the back of the stoppage, just wobbled one to half forward and then followed up. He got it back from Walsh and sent it back in the way of Mackay, 30 out. Curnow's gather at ground level was terrific, but tackling pressure was just as good, and he spilt it. And now Miller has the footy, not 15, called to play on to Brodie Smith. 1-2 bites at it. And that went over the boundary line, and it's a half forward for the Blues. Crows lead by 28 points. It's been a cracking match so far.
So 4 minutes 40 left. Carlton need 5 straight goals to win it. Throw in. Adelaide with a 28-point lead. They've been so tough and brave tonight, the Crows. Lockie O'Brien for Carlton. Wrapped up by Laird. Chera the look away. Gave it, got it back in the end, and gave it on again to Lockie O'Brien. Long range from 53 metres. It bounces, it rolls, it's out of play. We'll have it thrown in City End, only metres around from the Carlton goal, and they need one quickly.
The Mount Blight theory has always been if you've got more goals needed than minutes, you're in all sorts of grief. Can it be done? So they're right alongside the point post at the moment, the Blues. And they're down some soldiers. And 2 fit men left on the bench. Mackay grabbed it out of the air and was looking for Silvani at the front, then jumped on the back, and Chera was pleading for a free kick. Won't get it, another boundary throw in. So Carlton led by 3 points at quarter time. Crows by 4 points at the half, and now 28-point leaders as we have almost 4 minutes left in this final term. Pitnet should have given away a free kick, not paid. Umpire letting it go. Spills over the back. Rory Laird with a 180 swing around kick. High up and on ball to the outer side. First player there is going to be Cottrell, but he overran it. McAdam, though, was good. And Chase Jones. Can he get a handle on to Himmelberg? Back to Chase Jones. They're running, but the wobbling kick will be chopped off, though. Oh, brutal one-on-one contest from Keys.
So he used the forearm.
He's a man mountain. Breaking through tackles left, right and centre tonight.
So he's centre field for the Blues. 3 minutes 30 left. Saturday night footy. Adelaide looking at the most unlikely of wins here. Curnow, ground level, nice little pick up and roll forward by Owies. Crows have got some numbers back here. Miller, a beautiful little sidestep and delivers to McHenry.
He's going to chew down some clock, McHenry, as he slows it up. Only and he missed 2 games, McHenry. Sits 17th in the competition for frees against the little pest and had a goal, and then slows it down. So Dawson, who again wants to wind down that clock. He kicks long to the wing. O'Brien, strong in the front. Fisher swings around and pops it to half forward. Mackay hasn't had the best of nights. Butt's been right alongside him all game. Dawson's been outstanding. To Taylor Walker, one-on-one Wiedering. Wiedering wants the free kick, won't get it. And that is Young floating through for the Blues.
So Young to Chera to Sard. 2:20 left. Adelaide lead it by 28. Doherty to Chera. Gave a handball. They tried to claim a mark from a handball there, I think, Carlton. And Adelaide's defence, and have a look who it's going to. Man of the moment, Keys. He's in some space with Sard attempting to chase. He delivered backwards. And he finds Chase Jones in a diving mark coming up for his 23rd Red Z lending stat.
He's only missed 2 games. The top 10 draft pick from the 2018 Super Draft, Chase Jones. Getting some more confidence in his game and goes to the pocket. McHenry was tackled. Young just threw it out, not seen to Plowman. Now Sard has 3 bounces in 3 steps. Loves that one. And spots it up to Doherty. So a minute and a half left in the game. Adelaide will look to have got this one in the bag, and they swing around, and all of a sudden they've got McAdam 50 out, who played on, balked around to Koning, spotted up on goal and bounced it through for behind. So a minor score, 12-11-83 Adelaide, 8-7-55 on the Triple M Repco scoreboard. I'll show your card and save this month at Repco, driven by passion for over 100 years.
So with the re-entry, Carlton, as time ticks down, Motlop for the Blues. Got it to Lockie O'Brien. And shagged that out of bounds on the full. So Adelaide are going to get the footy. What an effort this has been by the Crows tonight. And what does it mean for Carlton? The win-loss roller coaster continues for them. That's 10 weeks straight. They've gone in that pattern. As Smith delivers and finds his man, McHenry. He will go back and take his time.
Just a sheer differential inside 50s. It's been too much for Carlton's backline. Crows 64 inside 50s, 12 goals, 12 so far. Carlton only had 47 inside 50s. Just not enough to kick a winning score against any team.
There's some big numbers on the Red Z lending stats. An extraordinary effort by Adelaide and Carlton. They are still in the grips of a race for the 8 as he runs around, improves the angle. Oh, has it got the journey? Not quite the juice behind it. Played on. Now it's all wrapped up. They scramble, they scrap, and we'll have a ball up.
So this one's all but done and dusted now. Straight out in front of the Adelaide goals. We'll get a ball up and then we'll get the siren. The Crows have been gallant and the hoodoo continues at the Adelaide Oval for the Blues. They are 0-5 and yet to have a W in the column, the most unlikely of victories for the Adelaide Crows. And they're going to shape the 8 and the nervousness continues for the Blues.
A big win. Carlton came to town. They were looking to consolidate. They were even looking to stay in the race for a top 4 spot, and they go away without the win. Adelaide, they were brave. They dug in. They got it done. 12-12-84 Adelaide. Carlton 8-7-55. And the Crows running out winners by 29 points here at the Adelaide Oval. We've got Sean Burgoyne, we've got Dom Cassisi. We'll be heading down to our friends at Fox shortly and be grabbing some on-ground interviews. But, gee, the last few weeks, you just wonder whether we are starting to see a bit of a turn here for Adelaide.
Yeah, look, tonight was super impressive. You know, the question we asked all night is can they do it for 4 quarters? And they were able to. And it was almost like they got that taste in their mouth of what was required, and they went harder and harder each quarter. That last quarter was a super strong finish by them.
Dom Cassisi there with Sean Burgoyne. They'll be wrapping this up for us. Ben Keys, what a star he was. And he's about to have a chat to our friends at Fox. We're about to take you down to Keys. He had the job on Sard tonight, didn't he? And he ended up kicking 3 goals. And Silk, you said he gave off a couple, I think, as well.
4 assists, yeah, game high.
He was extraordinary tonight. We're getting a look at Michael Voss. A little dejected as we take you down to Ben
Dixon. You guys are building beautifully, but to knock them off the way you did, pretty special, isn't it?
Absolutely. We had a really sort of young, inexperienced, up-and-coming group out in the park tonight, and I thought they were exceptional. And, guys come in and play the role, and it's obviously been a tough season, but we felt like we've been in a lot of games and sort of to the end drop off. So to be able to stay in the game and get the win is so good for our group, and, really stoked.
What was important early to take away from Carlton's perspective on the way they play their style of footy?
They're so good at sort of the kick mark game and linking up, and we copped it in Marvel early in the year. They play that ground really well, so we thought coming out of Adelaide over would try and really sort of restrict their kick mark game and their run and carry, and I thought we did it with all 18 on the field, and it was a really good effort.
You had a big role tonight, Adam Sard. Last week he was probably the difference between Carlton winning and losing, and you had that role tonight, and often when you're a forward playing defensive, sometimes you can get some reward.
Yeah, it was sort of interesting role during the week. I've obviously been playing a lot of midfield this year, and I was a little bit nervous coming in, if I'm honest, to go back down forward and play that role, but Nixie came up with it, put the faith in me, and I was able to sort of do it with the help of all the forwards. I thought the forwards were brilliant, so team effort, and we got it done.
As a ripper, Benny, you played an outstanding game, a great one to win at home as well. Well done.
Thanks, Dick, I appreciate it. Cheers.
Okay, thanks to our friends at Fox Footy. Ben Dixon having a chat to Ben Keys, and quite extraordinary the game that he played tonight. We touched on it pre-game. You wanted to see Miller do a bit of run and gun from the half-back, and that was the Sard sort of game that we wanted to see play, but we didn't see the Sard game tonight, and Ben Keys is the reason why.
Yeah, it was obviously said then, and it was a bit honest there, saying he's a bit nervous going forward because he's just used to the two-way running inside 50, but I think that's what we spoke about. We wanted to see some new things from the team, some come here and see players play different positions, and that was one of them from a senior player.
Adelaide running out winners by 29 points. We're about to head back down to our friends at Fox Footy. I reckon Tex Walker might be standing by as Carlton leave the ground, no doubt pondering what they actually need to do to win here at the Adelaide Oval. A big win to the Crows, and we'll get stuck into a full review of this one, our Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win. Here's Tex Walker.
You're hard to beat, regardless of where you sit on the ladder. You're a hard team to beat, and showed tonight against a pretty smart outfit in Carlton.
Yeah, they're a great side. They're going to be playing finals footy, and we've played some really good footy against the top sides this year, but we haven't been able to do it for 4 quarters, and tonight, the boys were outstanding. Like Keezy, I thought his role on Sard helped us immensely. Brodie Smith down back, Josh Warren, you can keep going, but boys just played their role, and we fought it out, and it was a nice win in the end.
Obviously, you guys, you got to kick the goals, but from a defensive point of view, your role tonight in just denying them out, obviously from defence, tell us about that.
Yeah, we know they want to have a bit of an uncontested game, and they've got some pretty good players across all areas. So if we could turn it into a bit of an ugly game and make it a shit fight, we were going to be happy with that.
It wasn't the Fogarty Walker show, the keys. You took a back seat tonight. You just mentioned it before, but he said he was nervous about that role on Sard. But to do that in your forward line, and then obviously Darcy played his role up the field as well, is pretty good.
Oh, very selfless, and speak about Foggy, he's come along in leaps and bounds this year. I'm really pumped for him, and it's just great to be able to, for our young group to see that our game plan is really working and the process is going to get us results.
Your energy on the boundary line, you came off not long ago and you were up, and Nixie's like, calm down. But tell us about his 3/4 time speech.
Oh, he just said if we want to embrace the grind and keep it in a contest, then we'll get the job done, and that's exactly what we did, and great 4 points.
You're in career best form. We reckon this is your best season ever, so Jared Healy pumped you up, so you might get a 5-year deal.
Thanks.
All the best, Tex.
I'll get you as my manager.
There he is, Tex Walker, having a chat to Dicko, thanks to our friends there at Fox Footy. But we had a chat pre-game, boys, about Adelaide and have they improved. We didn't feel that perhaps they had, but on the back of tonight, maybe it's something we will need to revisit in the next little period of time.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Miller was fantastic tonight. Keys, different role. What tonight showed with Keys is that the coaching group, he's one of their first go-to to, if you need to trust someone to get a job done, he's the guy. And we've seen that over the last 2 or 3 years with him. But even some of the young defenders tonight were huge as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Worrell all night. He played a really good game. He played on DeConey and kept him to 8 disposals, and was one of his best games. And I think it was the second or third quarter where they couldn't get the ball past him because he was winning his one-on-one contest, or he was coming across spoiling it. So, keep him in for the rest of the year, and hopefully has a big pre-season and hits the ground running next year.
You just hope that some of the young guys, spoke about Malira, for the Crows to move forward, that's got to be his benchmark. That's his minimum standard game. Worrell's second game, if that's his base and he can build on that, he's going to be a gun. So that's where the Crows just need to, hopefully they can get some players that have, built some belief, built some confidence at this level, and can just build on what they did tonight.
His confidence, Miller, that's the big one. I've seen him play a lot of sample footy, and he's been a shadow of himself at his best. He's had some horrendous runs in recent time with injuries, of course missing a full season as well, but speaking of runs coming up, so Adelaide take on the Eagles at Optus, and then the Kangas here at Adelaide Oval. So 2 teams both below them, and then Saturday night showdown to finish it off. So that will be intriguing. For the Blues, they take on the Lions at the Gabba, and then they take on the D's at the Triple MCG, and then the Pies again at the G.
Wow.
Ooh.
So top 4 maybe not in the offering anymore, but they need to lock away a win to get in the top 8.
And what does it mean for Carlton? I mean, have you guys played in sides where you win one week, lose the next, and what happens in those situations? Why does it occur?
Well, yeah, it's frustrating when you're in that position because, you know your best is good enough to match it, but you also got one eye on the finals, but you're trying to stay in the moment. And, if you don't get it done on a weekly basis, you don't get to finals. They've got the team we've seen this year to go deep into finals, but you got to get these wins against teams you're supposed to beat on the road. And we spoke pre-game about maybe a trip into state galvanising the group might be the case, but it's not, and it's back to the drawing board. So not only were they in touch with the top 4, but they're also in danger of falling out of the 8 if they don't pull their fingers out this week.
Anything you can see, Dom, that occurs when you're in that fluctuating win-loss scenario?
Oh, it's really hard to put your finger down to one thing, but, for Carlton, in the context of their season, they need to bring that hard edge they brought at the start of the year. It's almost like they came here tonight, they'll get a win without having to work too hard. You can't. The competition just chews you up. So they just need to step up in that area if they want to finish strong.
Yeah, you're right, Dom, because it's a massive turnaround when they smashed Adelaide in round 8 by 48 points at Marvel, and then Adelaide getting the chocolates win. That hard edge was involved with the Carlton Footy Club early days, and Adelaide didn't get a look in, but tonight they were outplayed.
Let's head down to the rooms. Adelaide home by 29 points over the Blues. Big win. Adelaide home by 29 and a big upset over Carlton. Just flying around the grounds for RAA. RAA ensured the locals today. In the other game tonight, the Cats, they got home by 28 points in the end over the Bulldogs. Of course, earlier today it was Collingwood by 6 points over Port Adelaide. And the Swans had a big win over the Giants. The Saints, 12-point winners over the Hawks.
So building into it, I mean, it's a disappointing day for your mob with Port Adelaide, but we still find this showdown, which will go down to the wire in the last game of the year between the two sides, will be interesting, but I still think there's enough positives from both Adelaide teams today in regards to what Port did on the MCG and what Adelaide did out here.
Yeah, well, I mean, both teams, they're going to go into the off-season hopefully with a showdown win. There's always, everyone wants to win those games and springboard their pre-season into it, so that'll be a big one. But look, both teams have a lot to play for the next 3 weeks. Whether you're playing finals, if you're missing out on finals, as a club, you need to show that you've got fight and you're looking to improve. And I think the Crows will, they've got an opportunity to string a few games together.
But also on a personal level, there's players playing for contracts. They want to play good footy heading into the off-season to renegotiate and get another contract. There's players trying to play well because they're probably going to ask for a trade, to be honest, and they need to show they've got currency to get to a new team. So as an individual, there's plenty on the line, and as a team, and supporters, you want to see your team finish off well and head into pre-season, into the holidays, on a positive note. So there's still plenty at stake, even though you're not playing finals.
And I think that was evident. They looked hungry tonight, Adelaide, like to persist and play the style of game they did, which was the bash and crash for a lot of it. To do that for that period of time against a side that's in the top 8, it was a desire thing, it looked like at times for Adelaide. They just wanted it more.
Well, as the game wore on, they became more hungry, and they just built on contest after contest, and then it just gradually wore Carlton down. And Carlton in the end weren't going for those risky kicks, and then when they did, they didn't come off because they were fatigued, and Crows had put more pressure on them. So, they've just got to bring that all the time, and Carlton just can't let teams like that have a look in, to be honest.
One of the other points, Dom, that I really liked from Adelaide's perspective, and I really probably want to visit the coaches' box in Carlton as well to some degree, is how Adelaide were able to lock it in their forward 50 without getting Carlton an ability to move it out. Now, obviously, locking down Sard's only a small portion of it, but it's heading out. We'll head, actually, I'll get your answer on that shortly, because I think we're about to head down to the rooms. Ebo, he's about to have a chat with Darcy Fogarty, one of the stars for Adelaide tonight.
Yes, I've got Fog here, mate. How good does that feel?
Mate, that's unbelievable. It just goes to show that when we play 4 quarters and play our way, we're good enough to match it with any team, so it's good to have that belief again.
And what was the messaging from Nixie? Because it felt like you were playing a very clear, consistent, simple game plan, really, but executing it well. What was the message?
It was just bringing it into a fight, really. We wanted to compete. We wanted a lot of stoppages, and we just wanted to press them. So we wanted to embrace the fight. We feel that's how we play our best footy, and we were lucky enough to do that tonight.
And what about the specky and the goal? How about that? So you've taken mark of the day, you've taken kicked goal of the day. How good did that feel?
Yeah, it was good. It was just, it's probably just off the passage of play up the field, so the boys were good. Yeah, we got it in.
Well spoken, mate. Upstairs, has anyone got anything?
Yeah, Fog, it's Dom Cassisi, mate. Congratulations on tonight. You guys were amazing. Mate, off the top, Ben Keys, obviously a different role tonight. He must be, so well respected amongst the playing group. How do you see his role tonight and the way that he's seen amongst the boys?
Yeah, Keezy was unreal tonight. He had a role on Sard for a little bit. Was able to shut him out and then get dangerous as well. And he didn't batter an eyelid when he was told he was doing that. So he's the ultimate team man, Keezy. And, he did a terrific job tonight, which was really good, really helpful.
Hey, Sean Berg on here, mate. Congratulations on the win. Just want to know what the coaching staff and Nixie said to you guys at half-time, because you guys had good momentum and you head into the change rooms full of steam. And you don't want to fall away in second halves, which teams have, or young teams like yourself have the capability of doing. But what do they say to you guys to keep you up and about?
It's literally just nothing changes. So we were able to get on top of them in the first half by just, like I said, bringing that fight. And we just knew that if we play our way, we're gonna match it with them. So that was the main messaging. We didn't have to change anything, and we were able to execute that, which is really good.
Now, boys, I'm just going to have to cut in here because Fogg's got to get off to the meeting just to go celebrate the win. So thank you very much, Fogg, and enjoy that victory, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, lads.
There he is, Darcy Fogarty, and good job, Evo, downstairs there tonight for Bob Jane T-Marts. Good question, Silk. Is that the answer you expected? Is that the sort of thing you hear around footy clubs when you're taking that momentum?
Well, it is. Well, I think you've got to just keep repeating the message, especially when you've got a young team and you're rebuilding, just to keep them on track, because you can go in halftime thinking, oh, how good was that? We're just going to roll out in the third quarter and get it done again, and they're going to fall away, and just to get you back to your starting point. Well, this is our KPIs. This is what we set ourselves up for. Forwards, mids, backs. This is what you need to do, but we've got to bring our contested possession or our numbers to the contest game to the game. And then we're going to reset, because you can fall into that habit, and I've done it as a player as well, just roll out thinking, we're 3-4 goals up, we'll just smash them in the third quarter, and then you get overrun. But it's just good to hear that.
Yatesy, you know your stuff, 21 years of calling Triple M footy. I liked your question about the coaching staff and what they're planning going into this match would have been, particularly with Vossi, because we know Adelaide are a sort of contested stoppage type of team. Did they see a plan in that? That was the question prior to the break. And where was the planning in Adelaide's mindset? Of course, they knew what they were going to do. They went in with an attack. We talked about keys. We talked about the stoppage structure with mids going up. But what was Vossi's plan?
Oh, look, I think Vossi's plan would have been, he's got the cattle. He's got the cattle where that, in terms of the big body mids that can get the game on their terms. That's where the game starts. And he would have been confident they'd get the job done here tonight against the Crows midfield that's inexperienced and a lot smaller. But, the fight. The Crows won the fight tonight. They won the key stats that display effort. Contested possession, ground ball gets. They just hunted for longer with more numbers.
Well, I guess what I saw was Walsh starting at half forward, coming up, being the 7th on baller, or the 6th on baller, so +1, and Dawson sticking off. So they were thinking, let's get the ball down and let's use the numbers and run it out by handball, because they're the number 1 handballing team out of stoppage, and we'll get the ball into open space and kick it long to Charlie and to Big H. But Adelaide Crows, well, you can do that. We've got Dawson sitting at the back as a sweeper, but our pressure inside won't allow you to do that. And Adelaide actually won that little mini tactical battle.
It wasn't only the pressure inside. I thought they did that really well. I thought Nixie, the way the Adelaide Crows played this week was amazing. Putting Keys forward and Malira in the forward line, they looked like they had more pace and more pressure in their forward line. When the ball went in, that extra pace on the ground allowed them to just hold it in there. Carlton weren't able to get the run out of there and get those small kicks and the overlap run, which they like to do, which then exposes the young Crows backline. So I thought they just planned really well. They had their soldiers in the middle. They had, Schoenberg. They had a few of the other younger guys in there that were just going to do their job. But Keys and Malira in the forward line was a real masterstroke, I thought.
Yeah, and just no space, was there, for Carlton to be able to find a target, as you say, coming out of half-back. And that's why Adelaide end up having 65 inside 50s, because they keep it in their half of the ground for a lot longer than Carlton.
Because one of the risks with the Crows is when they play Himmelberg, Fogarty, Walker, that's 3 forwards that aren't super mobile when the ball hits the ground, so teams can rebound out pretty quick if they're not clunking the footy. So I thought the blend of some quicker guys that are really good defensively in that forward line mix made them look different. They were able to hold the ball in their forward line, get repeat inside 50s, win the inside 50 battle, which gives them more chance to score.
What did Chase Jones end up having on the Red Z lendings tonight, Silk? I thought his game at times was good, particularly in a contested scenario. A few times he put on some good tackles and found a target when needed.
Yeah, well, he had the 23 disposals, and he had the 6 contested of those and 1 tackle, but I think it's his speed around the contest. So he's applied pressure, received pressure, but it's another game in him. They can get him playing wing. He can go half back, or he can come on as a high half forward. So just adding strings to his bow as he keeps getting games into him.
So our Triple M Amy review, submit your fan clanger to story at amy.com.au/fansurance, and you could win. Biggles, you popping into Macca's on the way home, mate?
Creme brulee. How good are the creme brulee? Nothing better than washing down a creme brulee with a hot apple pie.
Just a question. It was raining most of the night, and I can see the ground staff out there actually watering the ground.
I might have to have a word with Silk.
What are they doing? It was raining for most of the first quarter.
Seriously. Don't they know how expensive water is these days?
But it's been raining.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't water it.
Just moving the paintwork.
High-level conversation.
Well, the things you see.
Unbelievable.
The things you see.
We're really raising the bar now. It's cute, Are
we raising the stakes?
The stakes.
We're raising the stakes? Like a cow in an elevator? We could go with that one again.
Warm up with a creme brulee apple pie, just $1.50 at Macca's. Should we get the votes away, you reckon, lads? What do you think? Well, the Triple MVP Award for homeloans.com.au. Homeloans.com.au. The best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Who's got the votes?
Yeah, I've got the votes. I feel under pressure at the moment, but honourable mentions to Josh Worrell, who had 17 disposals and probably his best game for the Crows, and Rory Laird, 32 and 12 tackles. But I went with Brodie Smith, 37 disposals, and when the whips were cracking in the first quarter, he was right there getting the ball going Adelaide's way. 11 contested, 1,019 metres gained, and 13 inside 50s. I thought he used the ball really well, got the ball played on Adelaide's terms. 2 votes I went to Paddy Cripps. 41 disposals, 21 of those contested, and 13 clearances. Absolute beast, and 6 inside 50s and 6 tackles. He was absolute beast tonight. I think in the third quarter he had 16 possessions in that quarter. Just a soldier, and we've spoken about him a bit. But Ben Keys, 21 disposals. Keysy. 3 goals won, 4 goal assists, and when you think they won by 29 points and he contributed to 43 points, he's the match winner. Played on Sard. Sard still had 26, but of those 26, I reckon he took, 12 points kicked. So you got 12 cheap kicks because you take the kick-ins and you step over the line. So he did a very good job of nullifying Sard, but I think that was one of his best games, in a different role, playing forward, not on ball, and every one of his possessions counted. And don't forget, I think there's about 3 or 4 times we called. He was running into open goals, and they just missed him with the handball, so he probably could have kicked 5 or 6, to be honest.
Beautifully done. Silk Burgoyne there, the Triple MVP Award for home loans.
When's your book coming out, by the way, Silk?
101.
Yes. Would have thought he would have come up with a better title, Yatesy, than Footy 101.
Homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. When you're Sean Burgoyne and writing a book on footy, you can call it what you like.
Surely you call it 400 games and 4 flags, don't you?
Been thinking about that one for a week, because lads, well done. He's off for a little tube fest, I think. That's us done, boys. It's Adelaide home by 29 points. 12-12-80 for the Crows. It was Carlton 8-7-55. Adelaide home for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Repco.